All right, y'all, fade it out, fade it out. It's time to get up on here. Don't want to keep me waiting because I got some stuff to talk about today, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. We back again. Let's get it in. Make sure y'all hit the like button. You know, always helps. And I appreciate your help. We got like 12 people in here. What's going on, y'all? Uh-oh. Let's see. Robert Henry said, I'm ready to take that link tonight once you're ready. Dang. Okay. Yeah. Still available, just talking. That's how we do. Be just a hashtag guru. Uh-oh. Yeah, man, got a few things to talk about here because let's see. BJ said we found Veronica Macedo. Were we looking? Were we looking? I don't know. Gabriella, what's up? She said check out the interview with James Lynch. Yeah. Um, I did. I'm gonna watch it again too because there's some things I want to go back and talk about. And like I said, these fighters they better appreciate it because they get promotion over here. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm gonna plug this phone in, then when we get to rocking, let some more y'all come in. Yes, sir. Here we go. Okay, so a few things to talk about, just in general, because actually before we get started, just so y'all know, the year's about over. Um, WMMA is pretty much coming to a close when it comes to the UFC. We only have one more fight left. Cheyenne Valismus and Corey McKenna. So let's keep them in our prayers to make sure nothing happens. I don't like to wish the good luck thing. Let's just stick to praying. That's how I do. That's how I do now. All right, to keep well wishes and keep good energy on a fighter. All right. So Cheyenne Valismus, Corey McKenna, they have a fight coming up in 2 weeks, December 17th, and they are the last UFC WMMA fight. If I'm wrong, let me know, but that's what it's looking like on the schedule. So yeah, let's hope and pray nothing happens. And let's also pray that the fight is going to be good. Okay, let's pray that they put on a good performance as well, man, because we want to close the year out with a bang. I know they're unranked strawweights, but they both deliver. They both fight hard. Both have solid skills in what they do. Corey McKenna, she's a budding, well-rounded fighter. Um, Shine Valismus is a good kickboxer, good striker, So I know BJ, you're gonna be rocking with old girl, right? I know you're gonna rock with Corey McKenna, which I definitely can't knock you in that. She's well-rounded, good grappling, good wrestling, okay puncher. Valismus just has the footwork. She's quick, athletic. Ground game is still a little questionable, but we'll see how it plays out. We'll see who can go in there and get the work in. So, yeah, that's the last fight of the year for WMMA as far as the UFC. I mean, Bellator, the fight week coming up. Definitely want to see. I'll talk about it tomorrow. Kill Holtz and Velasquez rematch. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, though. But yeah, let's get this thing going. Macy Barber, man, Macy Barber, keeping herself relevant. Yeah, Gabrielle, she is. She talking about planning on going down to 115 again. And this fight here, which, you know, whatever fight comes up at 125, whichever gets solidified, is going to be her fight. Last fight at 125. All right. So, yeah, Macy Barber did a recent interview with James Lynch, and she talked about a lot of things. That's why I got to say, look, I like checking out these James Lynch interviews because he doesn't really troll or anything. He's asking a lot of questions about the division that they're in and asking them about other fighters, which I think it brings out, the feelings and the truth about how a fighter feels about what's going on in their division. Like he keeps them in the loop. Like even if, let's say, Macy Barber doesn't know what's going on with the JJ Aldridge or something at this point, you know what I mean? Or like a Melissa Gatto. He brings them names up and he asks them about, oh, how did you feel about this fight? How did you feel about that fight? Did you see Manone's fight? Did you see Chikagan? Right? He asked some interesting questions to see how they'll respond. Like, and it's good responding. It ain't really like trolling. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to see how they feel about each other to kind of gauge them and see, okay, who do they think is a threat? Like, who do they feel salty about? Who do they think is a threat? You know what I mean? Like, I like that energy though. It's good because every question he asks is about the division they're in. It ain't something crazy off the wall. Like he ain't trying to stir anything up. So I think what he's been doing with these interviews lately has been good because, yeah, when he says, hey, Macy, did you see Chikagan? Did you see Manone? Did you see Aaron? Whether you like what she says or not, that's what you want to hear, right? He didn't set up nothing. He didn't bait her. He just asked her what she thought of Aaron because they could have fought not too long ago, right? So yeah. Anyways, she talked about a few different things. She said that the Manone versus Chikagan fight. Uh, Manone is definitely an evolving fighter, a good fighter. She had good things to say about Manone, so I respect that. All right. And Chikagan, like she said about Chikagan, is Chikagan's peaked. Chikagan is going to do what Chikagan does at this point, and I agree with that. Like the thing is, what she said, Chikagan was an okay fighter, and yes, she is. But the thing is that okayness beats a lot of girls. It still beats a lot of girls. But the thing that really stands out is just her IQ. And at this point, I think what Chikagan does, it's going to be a situation where you either really have to stand out or you either get schooled. So yeah, I respect what she said about both of them at this point. But oh my goodness, man. Let's talk about this Aaron though, man. Like, oh my goodness, like, and you know what? I ain't even mad. Like, I'm not even mad at what Macy Barber said. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm not, because this is how a good fight is gonna happen. Why am I gonna be mad at Macy? Like, she's supposed to have this kind of talk. Aaron's a cold-blooded girl. Aaron can stick up for herself. Aaron comes with that energy too. You know what I mean? So, if Aaron's a dog, another dog that wants to be the big dog is going to dog her. You know what I mean? So it's like, expect Macy Barber not to say good things about a fighter that's on her level. So I love it. I love this energy. Let me pull up the clip here just in case y'all didn't hear it. Hang on. Let me see. Aaron, boy. Like, when it comes down to pure skills, Aaron is the truth. But Macy is a fighter. Macy's a fighter. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about her as far as that. But keep it in the realm you in. That's what I got to say. You ain't talking about Valentina. You ain't talking about the number one contender known. You ain't talking about them. You talking about the girl right around you, and that's good talk. That's good talk. Hold on. Mark Robinson, what's up, Breaker Gang? Listen in. Nice to see Savage in the building. Mark Robinson, what's up? Hold on. Let me see. Brian said, here we go. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, Chin, I'm not mad. What's up, Chin? Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm definitely ain't mad at it. Like it got me rubbing my hands together right now to start promoting a potential title eliminator for one of them, for both of them, Hang on, y'all. All right, so yeah, here's James Lynch's segment. Less than a minute, but she says a lot. Hold on. What? Hold on, I gotta stop it right there for 1 second. That junk hit me again. Dang, Macy hit me in the chest more. She said Miranda Maverick didn't have jujitsu at the time. What are you talking about, girl? Okay, look. All right, I ain't mad. I'm not mad. But come on, Macy. Now you know Miranda Maverick was a brown belt. Is a brown belt. How's she gonna say she don't have it? She said Miranda didn't have jujitsu. Okay, first off, she said Aaron's not that good. All right. You said Aaron is not that good. She's been fighting a lot of fighters that can't grapple. Okay. JJ Aldridge is not the best grappler. All right. Um, Sarah Alpar, not the best grappler. Big fighter, strong, good in the clinch. But come on. You know, Miranda's not a good grab. Miranda didn't have jujitsu. Come on, girl. Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick and Aaron Blanchfield were like the best of the best when it came to their jujitsu when they were in Invicta. And back then, when they both were in Invicta, when they were going to cross paths, I didn't want to admit it, but even then, I felt like Aaron had a good chance to out grapple and even handle Miranda Maverick with her jujitsu. Like I knew she had a good chance even back then, but the proof was in what we saw in the UFC. Like maybe Miranda was off that night because she got handled, but like the way she was able to just transition and take Miranda down and just keep her on her back, like that was a lot of impressive work in there. That's impressive. She's got BJJ, girl. Like you got to give her credit. She beat somebody with good jujitsu. She beat a striker, and she beat somebody with good jujitsu. Okay, so it's like, nah, Macy. Look, I know you don't like Aaron. I know you don't like her. You don't want to give her full credit, but Aaron's got a nice resume. Aaron's got a nice resume and a good backing behind her. When it comes to her, her team, not like backing like Macy's got like promotion. I'm talking about backing as far as you know, uh, a good team to help her grow. Even like when she was younger, like she was working with Claudia Gadelha. You know, when Claudia Gadelha was prime, Aaron was working with her when she was still a young buck, when she was green. You know what I mean? So that's levels to it. And Chikagan also part of her team too. Like Chikagan just got her black belt, but Chikagan has some pretty decent jujitsu too when it comes down to just getting to work in the gym. And Aaron, she builds off of that. She builds off of that, and I think she's also helping Tanisha Tennant get better with her jujitsu as well. So somebody at her age, she's got really good jujitsu, and she's fought somebody on an unranked level that has a high level of jujitsu. So let me pull this up. Look, God, man, what's going on here? Miranda Maverick is winner of some of these jujitsu tournaments too, man. How you gonna say she didn't have it? Hold on, did she say that right? Hold on, let me play it again. Let me play it again. Man, if anything, you would say Miranda Mary didn't have great striking. Okay. Like Miranda has decent striking, but not great strike. But she said she'd have great jujitsu. If anything she's known for is her wrestling, her jujitsu. And that's where I knew it was going to be a problem in that fight. I said, when it goes to the ground, Aaron, this black belt, might do some things that, Miranda just can't handle. That's what it came down to. So I was like, when I heard that, I was like, what are you talking about, Macy? Come on now. Now, she got you just, come on, come on. And on top of that, you didn't win that Miranda fight either. I'm just being real. She didn't win that fight. See, Aaron clearly dominated. But I thought Miranda beat Aaron. Beat Macy. Miranda beat Macy. I'm gonna stand on that. Macy beat everybody else on her record except Miranda Maverick. And she had jiu-jitsu then too. So yeah. What else did she say? Home? She said think Aaron's all right. Come on now. But the thing is, look, okay, hold on. What was I gonna say? Okay. I'm not mad. I'm not. So yeah, okay. Aldridge might not have that jiu-jitsu level. And she was winning that first round against Aaron. But how did she win? With a submission. Her striking may not be the greatest, but she came from behind and found that neck and got the guillotine, right? That's what you're supposed to do. So yeah, she has got different looks. To me, Aaron's gotten different looks, throughout her whole career. She's fought every level she was supposed to be on and won. The Tracy Cortez fight was like one of the closest on her resumes. But when she got to the UFC, she's been dominating. Maybe not in the knockout power fashion like Macy, but, she's been dominating with her particular style. Like, she's not a brawler. She is a grappler. She's a wrestler. So it's going to be a little bit more technical where you're going to say, oh, like she ain't that good. But if you study what Aaron is doing on the ground and these nice little transitions she's making, like even the Molly, that's high level stuff. Okay. And the thing is, like, I'm not even going to beat up on Aaron's resume for putting Molly on there. That's what I'm saying. Like, even the Molly thing, people get that mixed up. Like, oh, Molly ain't that good. She was never supposed to be that good. Like, Molly, we already knew was a fight down for Aaron. Nobody was saying that Molly was going to go in there and beat her. I don't know who, at this point, we was just saying the spinning back elbow was going to land right, but I didn't think she was going to win. She was just getting a chance to see if she could beat a top 15. But like, nobody's ever been screaming that Molly was this great fighter. Like, Aaron just took the fight because it was there, right? Nobody else was available, so she took the fight. So you can't beat up on her for doing that. Like, she went in there and dominated the way she was supposed to. And to me, it's still a notch on the belt to say, hey, that's just how good her jiu-jitsu is versus somebody like Molly who has none. This is what's going to happen to any of y'all fighters that want to go to the ground with her. Okay. So I don't agree with that, man. I just don't think, Aaron's an okay fighter. Aaron's a good fighter. Aaron's probably going to be in that top 5. Let's see, top 6, top 7 by the end of 2023. And what was I thinking? I kind of forgot what I was. What was it again? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because Aaron is supposed to be fighting. No. Macy's going to be fighting Andrea Lee, which leads me to my next part about this. Okay, so Lolita, what's up? She said Aaron wasn't even born when Claudia was in her prime. Right. Well, around that area, right? She was working with her then. Okay. Gary Baldwin was one of these girls. Should call out Natalia Silva. At this point, I think Natalia Silva should call them out since they're ranked higher. Since Macy's fighting a higher opponent, right? Since Macy's fighting a higher opponent, she should fight. Uh, and Natalia Silva should call out one of them to me. Somebody in that 11-15 realm, right? Okay, so yeah, leading to this part. So after her fight with Andrea Lee, she basically said that if everything works out, this could be her last fight at 125. This could be her last steady fight at 125. Okay. Um, I Oh yeah, Lolita. I just thought you being funny because how young she is. Um, I thought you being funny about how young she was. Yeah. Anyway, Aaron. Yeah, Aaron is 23. Yeah. Throwing me off. I stretch my back here. Okay. So she wants to move back down to 115 after this fight with Andrea Lee. She wants to take her chances moving down to strawweight. Let me pull that part up here because I want to hear how she says it again with y'all. Because she said now that she's got a better nutritionist, they can kind of put her on the right path to kind of live in that lifestyle of being closer to the weight that she should be at. Because even before, like, she had the wrong nutritionist that was kind of giving her the wrong amount of calories, that was messing with her metabolism and so on. So it kind of made some uh it put some bumps in the road, kind of put her on a rocky road because she even like missed weight once, right, at 125. So now that she has a better nutritionist, it's a big possibility, like she said, that they could work their way back down to 115. But they're gonna do it in a smart way. She's not going to just do a drastic jump. Like after this Andrea Lee fight, it's gonna be a move down after this. This going, like she said, this is what she said. It's gonna be her last fight for now at 125. So in the meantime, this is the process they're gonna be going through to get down to 115. And my thoughts on that, I don't see any problem with it. I really don't see any problem with it. Like, she's 24 years old, and if you want to see if you can get your body into a certain shape, now's the time to take that chance. Because when you get to be in your 30s, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s for a woman, it's going to be harder for her to try to squeeze down to that weight, especially with somebody of her frame. Like, I think now she could actually work with it and get down to 115 because she used to be at 115. So I think it really will just be a process for her to do it in a smart way, but it could be done at 24 years old. It could be done if she did it before, and I don't think anybody really should have a problem with it, which let me hold off on why, because it's going to shut most of y'all down when I say the reason why. And it's such a simple reason why too. Hold on. I want to play this next part. These doggone ads. Let me see here. Hold on. All right, Five, what's up? Let me see. Hold on. What are these ads, man? I want to hear what she said about 115. Hold on. So she's trying to get a lower walk around weight. And at her age, that is possible. At her age, that is possible because she's not carrying that much weight. Like, if you notice, like, in her past few fights, and if you look at some of her training photos now, she's actually kind of trimmed down. Like, she's actually become a little bit more ripped. Like, she doesn't carry a lot of weight anymore. Like, she doesn't really carry too much. So I think it's possible. Hold on. Okay. So that's what she's going to do as well. From here on after this fight, it's going to be a path to 115. But of course, a short notice fight, that's easy, right? Short notice fight at 125, that's doable because let's say her walk around weight is 130 or 130, 135. They call her, got to fight at flyweight for you. Boom. She can take it. That'd be a little bit easier for her to do. But in the meantime, like Angela Hill did, Angela Hill took a short notice fight, catch weight at 120. So you just have to make sure you're closer to a good walk around weight, like she said. And I'm glad that's something she focused on because the walk around weight is a big part of it here. It has to be kind of a lifestyle. Um, so yeah, short notice fights at flyweight and then strawweight is the goal, taking fights at strawweight. Gabrielle said, how well would Barber do? I can see her ranked top 10. I think being moved the right way, and if she can carry her strength down, I think she could do well at this point. I think she could do well at this point. Yeah, Chan, I think Macy has been looking smaller to me. You know, I mean, she was having abs too. The waistline, the weight around the waist is kind of gone now, it's trimmed down. If she can get back into that shape like when she was on the contender series where she had them high kicks and she was bouncing around her feet and not plodding as much, yeah, she could do well. I think she could do well. All right. So if everything goes the way she wants, this will be her last fight. Gabrielle said kind of like Jessica Andrade is doing. Right. Yeah. She said if everything goes the way she wants, strawweight is where she'll be. And my thoughts, I have no problem with it. And nobody else in the chat should have a problem with it. You know why? Because if she fights her way up, y'all know what you're going to say. She ain't got no chance against Valentina. It's the same thing you're going to say. You'll say, hey, oh, you won't know why she fighting flyweight. She ain't going to beat Valentina. That's the first thing y'all going to say. Even if she improves. So it's best for her to go somewhere where she actually has a chance. Because everybody knows 115, the belt moves around. You got a lot of different styles. You got a lot of elite fighters up in the top that have good skill sets. So it's always changing. It's always a possibility that you could wedge your way in and upset somebody or make things happen. So I think Macy, if she moves right, this might be a better place for her to be because if the skill level is so broad, is it between her and Valentina, right? And the other flyweights, why not take the chance? Why not take the chance? UFC One Music said Whaley has the guts to fight Valentina, unlike Rose. Well, for Rose, I wouldn't want to see her do it. Hey, Rose may be scared, but I think she's smart. She's not to do it. Even a lion doesn't fight an elephant. A lion's considered the king of the jungle, but a lion's not gonna fight an elephant. Because I know that deals with size and not pure skill, but hey, you know when to stand down, right? You know when to stand down. Whaley is just different, So I would never want to see Rose get in there. She get broke up by Valentina. Come on. Yeah. So yeah, Macy's got a good chance here because her style would fit in well with these other fighters, I think. Being able to clinch, being able to carry power. Hopefully she can carry her power down. It would be a problem for some of these other girls. It'd be a problem for these girls like Yan Janan. Her clinch game would be problems for what is her name? Marina Rodriguez, possibly. Did somebody say Luana Pinheiro? I think she would probably stop Luana Pinheiro if they fought. Especially if she comes in like the old Barber. Genesis, what's up? Gabrielle said Barber might get someone ranked if she goes down to 115. Yeah, and rightfully so. I would definitely not tell her to fight an unranked fighter, because with the skill gap, talent gap being so far off, I think Macy would stop a lot of unranked fighters at strawweight. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong? I mean, that's true, right? If they put one of these unranked strawweights in there with Macy, Macy gonna stop him, or she'll just beat him. So I think she needs to go on and fight a top 10. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They Alpha Team Alpha, right? Yeah, her and Zhang, they're on the same team. I didn't mention her, did I? No, I think I said, who did I say? Marina. Somebody like Marina and did I say Mackenzie Dern? I'm probably thinking Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, Mackenzie Dern is a good one. Mackenzie Dern is a good one. UFC one said Whaley isn't scared of Valentina. No, she isn't. She ain't scared of Valentina. Got to be prepared though. Not ready for the fight. No, she's not ready for the fight, but definitely not scared. Lolita said a weasel can kill a cobra can kill a lion can kill a weasel, and an elephant can smash them all. Right. I think Barber should fight Luana. Chin said, Chin said, I think Barber should fight Luana. I think that's a winnable fight. Luana got some power, but her hand game a little sloppy. I think her jiu-jitsu is good, but judo's good. Yeah, she's good with her judo. I would still pick Barber in that fight. And a name like that, if she could go in there and go be dominant, I think they would move her faster. Yeah, but so maybe Barber can take Luana's ranking, right? So I mean, these girls are doing whatever right now. Ebos is trying to be a tweener. Ebos is strawweight, flyweight. Barber wants to do the same thing, except she's moving down. So it's possible. Barber is the type of fighter that Barber's the type of fighter, that she's willing to do whatever it takes to get closer to the belt or a belt. And I think her chances are better against a Whaley than they are Valentina at this point. Even to climb up is a little bit more. I could see it working in her favor. I could see certain style matchups playing in her favor because she's learned a lot. She's learned how to deal with size and strength and how to build her own strength up at flyweight. So I think, she definitely would have some success, man, at 115. Granted, if the weight is right. Jen said I couldn't do this job at all. That dieting and weight cutting would kill me. I know, right? I know it's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle. Like she said, you have to be dedicated to that weight and that regimen every day. And if you really want that belt, and I think if she really wants to do this, she's gonna make that sacrifice. High five to Andrade, Joanna, Whaley aren't just fighters with true warriors, have guts and willing to fight anyone and never shy in the ring. The rest are just so-called fighters. I think they all have guts. I think all the fighters have guts, and they all have a willingness to fight. Thing about Andrade and Joanna and Whaley, high five, is their skill level. Once you get the dog in you, the next thing is the skills. And Andrade, Joanna, and Whaley are levels above because of their skills, but there are other warriors in the divisions. Like, Marina will fight anybody. Lemos will fight anybody. Macy Barber, she will fight anybody. Okay. Like, they'll fight anybody. But sometimes the warrior heart gets ahead of the technical aspect, right? So the division's full of true warriors, but there comes a time when you need to step up your skills, be more of a wizard than a warrior in there. Gabrielle said Ducote versus Barber versus Viana. I'd rather do Viana. No, who's higher? Ducote. I don't think that's a good fight for Ducote. Emily Ducote is not a good fight for Barber. Barber, ooh, Barber going, ooh. Good move though. Good move to get in the rankings. Brian Williams said, "Did Macy explain why she wants to move down?" Well, yeah, she basically said that it's a weight she can make, you know, and she feels like that's somewhere she can be now with the right nutritionist that she's had. She just had some bad experience with other nutritionists, and I guess she just wants to take that chance. Like she said, this is her last fight, and she feels like getting down to that weight would be, something she could do because that was the weight that she was first at, right? When she first got signed, she was at 115. So maybe she just wants to continue that path. And yeah, why not? Why not? Because I know when I used to look at Macy's footage at 115, some of these early fights, what was her name? The girl she fought in, it was a hard fight. It was a scrappy fight way back. Yeah, Mallory Martin. I like her movement back then. When she was fighting some of these LFA fights, she seemed to be a little bit more athletic, agile. She could kick higher. It seemed like, she wasn't very plotty, just plottish, plodding around, just trying to swing for the fences. She actually looked like a kickboxer, a sharp kickboxer. UFC one said, "I'm glad Whaley's not scared of nobody, unlike Rose." I don't know, man. Look, Rose, I don't know. Sometimes she just gets in that funk, man. Like I cannot explain it. Sometimes she just in a funk, but that's not a place to be in a cage full of lions or in the Shark Tank, right? Let's see. Barber versus Waterson. Ooh, Barber versus Waterson. Barber would have to be careful with her offense in this fight. I think Waterson might have some success with her kicks, and she might have success with her takedowns. Waterson, she can take you down and she can ride out some rounds. So, I don't know. That might be kind of interesting. I think Barber might be the one that would. You know what? Waterson might be somewhat of a test for a few rounds, but I can still see Barber winning. But I think Angela Hill would probably be a test for Barber. Angela Hill's, combinations I think Angela Hill would be like the test she would need to pass first. Yeah. But if they moved Macy the right way, they could definitely get her into a title eliminator and a title shot pretty quick. They've done it before with certain fighters, so I could definitely see her get into that mix. How she matches up with the champion, I don't even want to really go that far. Just looking at the bottom half, like you're doing Gabriella, I think, that's pretty smart. I mean, Waterson, Pinheiro, Ducote, I think they're all winnable fights. I think those are winnable fights for her. Ducote's lack of defense really showed like what kind of trouble she would have with power punches, getting laid out. And the clinch, the clinch game of Macy Barber tends to be a problem now, So yeah, I can see her winning those fights. I can see her doing those fights. What's up, Robot Chicken? I just think the issue would be really living the lifestyle. Like Chen said, it would kill you. Believe me, it ain't gonna be no cakewalk for Macy, and I hope she can ride it out though, man. I hope she can. She didn't say, yeah, I think they would give Macy a shot quick, depending on her performance and her following. Yeah. You see, Mackenzie Dern almost got up there quick. And she got sent right back down. But, she made her way up quick. And I was like, what? But yeah, I think Macy and Mackenzie, that would be a good fight. Macy and Mackenzie would be a good fight at some point, too. On the feet, I'll give it to Macy all day. Mark Robinson, what's up? He said, question: who are the borderline weight bullies at 115 and 125? Not trying to throw shade. I'm just curious what we'll come up with. Borderline weight bullies. Um, at 115, I don't really think there are any weight bullies at 115, are they? A lot of slim girls there. Slim and short girls. Carla, Atisha, they're not weight bullies. Jana's not a weight bully. Andra's not a weight bully. She's just a bully. I mean, anywhere she goes, she's just too much of a Hulk. Shin said Joanna was a weight bully. Was she? Rose not a weight bully. I could see Joanna being that because Joanna could have been. There could have came a point where Joanna could have been at flyweight and she would have been looking good and strong. She would have been looking skeletal. But wait a minute now. I don't think there's any weight bullies at 115. Mark. 125. Can't even call. If Lauren Murphy and Misha Tate were like blowing through everybody, I'd say they were because they came from bantamweight. But nah, I don't think so. I can't think of one. Maybe at bantamweight, and that's only because there's no featherweight division. Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah. She doesn't really use her physicality. Like she's still a striker, and she's still not really knocking anybody out, too, right? Yeah, you are right about that, Zaman. Yeah, because like she does, like Joanna doesn't have power. Like she fights like a point fighter, so she's not really going in there to knock anybody out. High five said Marina's a weight. I don't think Marina's a weight bully. Look how thin she is. Marina don't even fight physical either. Like Marina doesn't use her physical advantages. And you know what? They're not advantages because she still loses. Like she still gets taken down and handled. And it's not a height and reach advantage if you don't know how to use it. Like, Carla could still take Marina down. Randa could still take Marina down. So it's not full advantage if they don't completely destroy somebody. Like Marina's winning a lot of decisions. So, Marina's not really bullying these girls. They still are able to expose some of her weaknesses. She's actually winning off of her heart and skills and just IQ. Marina's a stick. Yeah, respect. Yeah, she's a nice sized woman at strawweight. It fits her. Like she's not too thick. Like she's not big. Mojo, what's up? Mojo said Santos a weight bully at 125. I don't think so either. I don't think she is. No problem making weight. Santos is really muscular, and she still, fights very competitive at flyweight. I see her beating a lot of flyweights, but it's, really because of her just natural physical strength and her ground game, her grappling. Like, I don't think, even when I looked at their face off, like, she didn't like tower over, like Hulk over Valentina. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't like this Hulk or anything. So, I didn't really see that as like, I never really seen her as like this weight bully. But yeah, we talk about Macy and their situation and the weight and everything here. Of course, I'll keep y'all posted on what's going on. Mark said Joanna versus Waterson, Carla versus Suarez caused me to raise my eyebrows. Not calling anyone weight bully, but Waterson and Carla look like children. Suarez. I can't say Suarez either because Suarez still has some skill levels that could be exposed by, another strawweight or two. But she's very good though. Yeah, they're just good size flyweights to me. Chikagan, she's big and long, but she's not really a bully either. Okay. Sync is late. Sync, we about to jump to the next topic now, man. I gave you 40 minutes. I gave you 40 minutes of discussion and you late, man. It's all good. He said, I like the energy from Macy. Yeah, I do too, man. I like this energy. I mean, I don't like what she said about Aaron now. I like the energy, but I don't like her dissing Aaron like that. Talking about Aaron ain't fought no grapplers. How you gonna say Miranda didn't have any jujitsu? Oh man. Oh boy. What's she talking about? Anyways, let's talk a little bit here about Robot Chicken said Barber said Blanchfield isn't that good. They both fought Maverick. Yep, and only one of them beat Maverick, in my opinion. I'm just saying. Ain't that right, Robot Chickens? Only one of them beat Maverick. Only one of them clearly beat Maverick. Okay, so UFC One Music, since he's talking about Rose a little bit, let's jump to that topic. So, what do y'all think, man? Look, Whaley, and like I said, look, Whaley, when I listened to the interview, Whaley didn't straight up just say, hey, Rose needs one more fight, and Rose got to do this and do that. You know how Ariel Helwani does. Ariel Helwani, he basically said that, hey, do you think Rose needs one more fight? Do you think she's ready? Is that a fight you want? He put all the words out there. And Whaley just went on and said, oh, yeah, you're right. You smart. You know what you're talking about. She basically just said it that way. She basically just threw it out there and said, yeah, the fight can happen down the road. But it's like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. Like she should do one more fight. So, Ariel, he covered all the tracks. He been doing, that's what he wanted to hear. And she just happened to agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know how to ask these questions sometimes. Like, these interviewers, they know what they're doing. They know how to word something. He said, I want to get the right answer here. I want the answer I want. So let me make it a close-ended question somewhat. Right? But anyways, I personally think that, yeah, the fight should happen somewhere down the road. Because I really don't think it's the fight y'all want to see right now, do you? Like, who wants Whaley versus Rose again? Like, who wants to see that a third time right now? Who really wants to see that a third time? Y'all just got satisfied with Carla losing the belt. And now Whaley's got the belt. And now we got a young lady by the name of Lemos who destroyed my girl Marina. I like them both. Both my girls. So we got a new look who wants a title shot. So why would we want that rubber match right now? So I'm with Whaley. I'm talking down the road. I'm with Whaley. I want it down the road. You know why? Because number one, the Carla Rose rematch. I know styles make fights, but I really don't want. I don't want her getting back in there for a title shot off of that performance. Okay, I'm just saying. You lost the belt. Let's do the process. You lost the belt in a very shaky performance. And not even shaky like Rose was getting twisted up or beaten up. It was mentally shaken. And that kind of made me say, this is worse. Like, when Rose took the beating from Andrade in the second fight, I more so took my hat off to her. You know why? Because she showed that heart and tenacity. Took the wrong advice. Of course, from Pat Barry, but she showed some very, very good moments in that Andrade rematch. So, that performance, Rose, you definitely got my respect. But the Carla rematch had me questioning more. Because this fight here had me like, oh, who y'all time out? Dang. Somebody get timed out? TJ was quick on it. TJ, I'm appreciate you being quick on it, but hey, you can keep him in there. You can keep him in there, man. Yeah, don't he ain't say nothing like he wasn't cussing or nothing. He ain't say nothing racist, right? You keep him in there. Hold on, Lolita. Maybe she been looking. I was reading a few of his comments. Lolita said, because you talking too much, that's why look at all the other comments, not such disrespectful language as you respect the channel. Okay. I'm listening to Lolita. Okay. Maybe you did say something. I wasn't really looking at all the comments. Only if you have my name tagged, I really pick out your comment. Colton, what's up? He said Valentina still has unfinished business with Tyler. Yes, most definitely. I 100% agree with that. Brian Williams said that dude was deleted by 4 moderators. Oh, okay. I mean, I saw Lolita speaking in caps locks, so I know we got a problem. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take her word for it there, because you ain't respecting that, you got to go. Okay, so you got another one here. Someone says a bunch of rose simps up in here. Dang, who is that? Sidebar. Rose simps. Rose simps. Oh, he said in the chat. I mean, I know I ain't. I mean, Brian Williams said he was warned. Hey, warn away. I mean, hey, when you know how it is. Like, go get it. Go get it. I'm leaving it in y'all's hands. Anyways, I'm leaving it into y'all's hands. That's why I gave y'all the wrench. Hold on. 1 second here. I'm gonna give out another pistol. Today's the day I gotta give out another pistol. All right. I got another deputy. All right. Yeah, Brian said he was warned. Okay. Like I said, I wasn't really paying attention to that, so y'all saw it. Hard time looking away. Robot Chicken said, I have a hard time believing Whaley would go in a fight saying that. Yeah. I don't know, man. Look, does anybody have a problem with that about Rose having to fight one more fight, though? That's the thing, man. Like, you shouldn't really have a problem with Rose wanting one more fight. Or, Whaley's agreeing with them saying, hey, fight one more fight. Because you already had the belt once. And like I said, when you defended against Carla in the rematch, you didn't come off like somebody that really wanted to, defend the belt. Like if Rose would have fought her heart out and still lost, I would have been like, okay, this girl's still championship material. But the performance against Carla in the rematch just was kind of questionable. It was kind of questionable to the point we just had to say, okay, well, let me put her in there, or let us, UFC, put her in there with a contender to see how she fights, just to see where her head is at. Does she want to fight back for the belt again? Right? And that's a question she has to ask herself. Does she really want to fight for the belt? Gabriella said, I think the UFC prefers Whaley as champ. I do. What about you? What about you, Gabriella? I do too. I do. Chin said the only people who have an issue is the super mega fanboys. Yeah, I really don't have a problem with, Rose taking a step back again, because she's always been kind of that one that, we have to kind of ask the question, Rose, are you good? And, she human. She human. So, sometimes you got to ask a person like, yo, you all right? You know, people like that. You got to be like, hey, you good? Like, hey, maybe you want to sit this one out. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with your fighting skills, but, where's your head at right now? To save yourself, maybe we shouldn't put you in a fight. Like, if I was her manager, I'd say, the UFC thinking of making a third fight with you and Whaley. You want that fight? I'd be like, I don't think you should take that fight right now. Whaley's on a mission, and where you were at 2 years ago or a year or so ago, a year or so ago is not the same. I'm not seeing it. So it's like, let's see what you can do against Marina or somebody. Marina wants to fight you. Marina's calling you out. Let's make that fight, all right? Let's see how you look. Let's see how you feel after the fight. 6 said Rose is still a good fighter. Yeah, she's got good skill sets, man. I'm telling you, she's still a good fighter. Like, good fight in her. But it just comes down to also the monotony here. Nobody really wants to see it again because it just happened. Two times in a row. Let's change it up. Lemos has already put 2 wins together. Let's go ahead and put Lemos in there. That's what it's about, right? She earned the number 3 spot. And I cannot disagree with that. Rose needs to fight Andrade again. Doggone right. Marina or Andrade, either one of them. And if Rose go in there and fight tooth and nail and beats Andrade, if she want a belt, if she want a chance at the belt, hey, give it to her. If you go in the meat grinder and beat her, for sure. For sure. If Rose can destroy or beat Andrade, if she's willing to go a third round or third fight with her, I got to give her a lot of credit. Because I love both them fights. Both of those fights were classic, man. Classic strawweight fights. Rose Andrade 1 and 2. Mojo said Whaley's doing all the right things in her fight level improvements. Great attitude, work ethic, respectful, working on her English. Kind of hard not to like her, in my opinion. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's really hard not to. I mean, I don't dislike her at all. Man, I definitely rock with her. It's giving me everything I need when it comes down to performance and watching, her training. Very motivational, Gabrielle said Whaley brings on the Chinese market and she's marketable as well. And her English is improving so the fans can understand her and she can communicate with them as well. Yeah, I like her English. It's been getting a lot more. She's getting there. She's definitely getting clear. James said Whaley's English is crazy good from where it was. Yeah, it's really improved from December 2021 to now. Yeah. So, she be doing 2 things in one, man. She be training and learning English. That, some people say learning English is not as hard as like learning like Japanese or something. I've heard that saying before, like learning Spanish is a little bit easy for me. But like when you start learning like some like, Japanese, I even tried, just reading through it and trying to understand this. You really have to take a class and sit down. That's for me. That's just me. Whaley's a good role model for all women facing adversity. Chin said learning English is hard. Is it? I've heard the opposite. Like I've heard some people say, come in here. Of course, I think it depends on what country you're coming from. Like if some of your words and letters are the same, like I think Spanish, anybody like Mexican, they can pick up English better than maybe somebody from Tokyo or even Beijing, like in China or Japan. It's different, I guess, because the letters and the symbols are something totally different. Like I think it was my brother when he learned Japanese, he was like, "Oh man, this is different. This is totally different than Spanish," because he mastered Spanish, then he went to Japanese, and it's like a totally different thing. But yeah, I think it just depends on what country you're coming from. But yeah, I've heard people say English was easy for them. James Perez said, do Rose Andrade 3 and Whaley Lemos winner face off? That'd be a good card. You put both of them on the same card, both of those fights. 6 said just choosing to learn the language is a win in itself. That's true. I was trying to teach myself sign language. I've been learning sign language a little bit. I kind of stopped, but yeah, sign language, I'm trying to learn that. I don't know. I might go back to trying something like that, man. I might try to learn French or something. But yeah, sign language, I learned a little bit of it when I was a kid, so it's kind of a little bit easier to go back to. But you got to give people credit. You got to give like those translators credit that be like at the concerts and be doing sign language. Man, they be killing it. Since I need to learn Spanish. Yeah, Spanish might be the one I need to go back to. That was the one where I left off at. Robot chicken side speed. Oh yeah, I'm a master at all of that. I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book on street. The thing about street, I'm gonna do street. A book on street. There was an Ebonics book. Somebody actually made a book on Ebonics, man. I hope they were black too, so they could collect on that, man. Like, would that be crazy if it was somebody white that wrote a book on Ebonics and they took all the money? I'd be like, dang, man, y'all had a chance. Y'all had a chance to capitalize and get money, and the creator of the Ebonics book is white. I'm just saying. Anyways, yeah, I was rambling. We were rambling about language. Gabriella, Gabriella's gonna get a wrench too because she keeps me on topic. Hold on. Shout out to Gabrielle. She always keeps me focused here. Whaley's fight style is marketable as well. And overall, I think having her as a champ is better for the UFC business wise. And Whaley as well can headline a pay-per-view with the right opponent. That's what I'm waiting on too with her, man. Like, I'm waiting on somebody to come up and get a level of skill and marketing where we could say, oh man, they need to be pay-per-views. We need to make this a pay-per-view. Gabrielle said, I think UFC always wanted Whaley as a champ, but she lost to Rose. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they wanted her. They wanted her as a champ. They did. When they pushed her in there, yeah. Hold on. I'm going to send the link out. Yeah, if anybody want to talk. Okay. Oh, Chen said everybody has rings. All right, Chen, come on now. I'll pick my days. It might be somebody's day in another day or so to get a wrench. Let me think. I want to send the link out. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm being nice today. I'm usually going to do 2 a day, but since Straya said something, I send out another one. I'm do 3, and that's it. That's it for today. That's it for today. On your birthday. Too late. Happy birthday is today. Your birthday is today. Okay. Who should put you know what? I like to do something crazy and put the link in the chat just to see who would click on it. But don't make me regret it. Hold on. No, let me send it to Robert Henry. I'm gonna send him a link. he wants to chime in and give his thoughts on certain topics. Let me go ahead and send it. Okay, Rob Henry, if you like a link, and just send it to you. Yeah, Whaley and Nonito Donaire. For y'all that don't know, Donaire is a very good boxer, and that's exactly what she needs. And hold on. That's exactly what she needs to get her counterpunching skills right and to calm down on her recklessness. To keep her hands tight and, learn to measure more with those subtle movements, footwork. I don't want to see her be a little too, gung ho sometimes. I think Nonito, he can help her slow it down a bit. That's a good boxing coach. She's only been working like 2 weeks, but hopefully she keeps it going. That's a good look for Whaley too. Donaire. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing a call in today. I mean, I'm not doing a phone. I'm doing a link in. Anybody want a link to talk about anything? Okay, here we go. Don't make me regret that. I mean, I'll just block you if you talk crazy anyway. So, link is right there if you want to give your thoughts on anything. If you want to give your thoughts on Macy, Whaley, Gabriel said Valentina versus Santos, and Whaley Lemos for a Singapore card. I bet you Whaley Lemos would be the higher fight. I bet you Whaley Lemos might be the co-main event. Shoot, go ahead and make Whaley and Lemos the main event. Make Whaley Lemos the main event. And Valentina Santos the co-main event. Mojo said, yeah, I think Dana respects Valentina's abilities and accomplishments, but she won't ever be in his pet pen until she becomes a big draw. I'm thinking, yeah, I think so too. Oh, okay. Got a guest coming in now. Hold on one second. All right, got a guest in here. Robert Henry, how you doing, man?
What's up, Combo?
We just, just chatting, and I'm just looking at the chat.
How's my audio?
It's perfect tonight, man.
All right, good. You know what I did earlier, man. I went live for about 20 minutes, and then after it reposted, I realized my audio was not even it wasn't even working. I think I had a microphone malfunction or something, but
Oh no.
I'll get it together.
How long was you on for?
About 20 minutes. I went on about 6:45.
Oh yeah. Look, I was doing a video once on for like 30 minutes. Didn't even the mic would turn on. I about threw my phone and everything across the room, man.
Cool, man. That hurt. I'm glad it was a live, even though now if I had been on for an hour, then that would have hurt. But because it's a live, and you usually don't have to do unless you putting on a presentation like WMMA addict or something, it don't hurt too bad. But yeah, man.
If
But
I ever want to cry, it's whenever work I've done goes down the drain and I do it for no reason. That's the only reason I'll ever cry, really.
Just be like Jordan
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, I'll make me cry. I mean, nothing else, like relationship breakup. But if you mess up
You
my
mess
heart.
up my Mona Lisa. I hate to
Mhm.
use the most boring, famous fate in the world, but you know what I mean.
My work I put in though, if
Yeah.
all goes down the drain, man, I'm crying. I'm
It
sorry.
hurts. It hurts. But you
It
know what?
hurts.
I think I've had enough as like an artist, particularly a writer. I've done it so many times. I'm not saying I'm numb to it, but as
Mhm.
long as it's not too extreme, and even when it gets extreme, I just get over it as fast as I can. Like sometimes I look at like doing hard work, like a NFL cornerback. You get burned, and then you got to move on to the next play, man. It sucks though. But anyway,
Yeah, man, Rob. You talked about it before, man. I'll get back into writing, man. And since you were bringing it up to me, when I feel comfortable with one of the poems I'm writing, I'm gonna let you read it, man.
oh, no problem. Definitely, definitely. I'm still on that writing tip. I'm
Mm-hmm.
writing every day. I'm just not necessarily posting right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we can chat about that
Yeah.
another time because we ain't really been on here discussing WMMA in a while. I mean, particularly me.
Yeah.
But anyway, while I got the floor, um, in terms of Macy Barber, right? Like I said, I'm just happy that somebody's calling somebody out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Especially at the end of the year, because I feel like I'm gonna be honest, dude. The holidays are trying time for me. You know, I've dealt with that. I'm better now, but I dealt with that seasonal depression. You know what I'm talking about? And things slowing down in general, I don't like. I just don't. I love the holidays in a way, and I don't love them. And as far as a WMMA fan, I'm like, what do you mean there's only one more fight left? You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm-hmm.
angry. And they can't even get Cheyenne's name right. I mean, they just throwing this fight out there, and I'm like, how many fighters is in each division? I mean, I'm not talking about 145. That's the ghost town of 145 pounds. I ain't talking about that. I mean, what about? Didn't you do what was it? Your last hashtag CB99 talks? Didn't you do a on your podcast? Didn't you count 24 straw weights?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was like 24. Mm-hmm.
I like are all of them in a country that's 20 hours away or what's going on? I don't know what's going on. That's bothering me a lot. But Macy Barber, in terms of her going to 115, personally, I want her to stay at 125. I think that's the place she needs to be.
Oh, really?
I do. I don't know how her power carries down. I know that Marcus Bell, shout out to Marcus Bell in the comments, said that well, she fought at that weight before, and her weight her power was good then. But I'm like, even though 24 may not look like anything to us, for a fighter that seems to struggle, not super struggle, but it does seem like she's making the weight like with complete ease. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She kind of blows up, and maybe she does need to move down because she's trimmer at 115. But it's like it's just a commitment, man. Like, and I'm not saying this as an insult to women, but it's like the weight issues, especially in the UFC, it pronounced. It's like it's like some of them would be better if they could make in between weights, but it's ain't boxing. It's not enough weight classes. You feel me? So I think that if she's committed to it, then yeah, I mean she can do what she want, but I don't know because I mean them strawweights are pretty quick and it's more striking, and I just think somebody who relies so much on strike and giving up that size, like these aren't the strawweights that she fought back in the day. You feel me? Like some of them girls are pretty tough, so I don't know. All I can say, we'll see it. I'll see it when I believe it. I'm still trying to understand how Valentina can post up a picture on Instagram eating more calories than I probably could eat in one setting, and yet she's in best shape. Like you listen to how Valentina talks. Like I'm not saying that she doesn't have a regimen of working out and dieting, but she likes the same foods that a lot of foods that I like.
Same here.
But
Yeah.
I
Like.
can't do what Valentina
Mm-hmm.
do. So I mean, to each his own. I just hope that she is not, maybe jumping the gun. But really, all I care about is the call out of Aaron Blanchfield. I mean, I like that. I respect that. I mean, I got to pick Aaron in that fight right now, but you never know.
What if she gets back down like this way? Do you think it's possible if you look at the picture I posted?
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. Like that was her 115 in LFA. And
She looked good.
yeah.
She did. I got to give it to her. But
Let
she
me
was
ask you
like
this.
4 years younger, though. But anyway, I don't know.
What do you think like as far as the move down? Which path would be better for which seems more doable? Like do you see her becoming flyweight champion on an easier road than strawweight? Like which do you think would be a more doable road for her? Well, I mean, we always talk about how good Valentina is, so like what would be a doable path for her?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I guess strawweight would be a little easier maybe for her to get in that top echelon. And again, this is all theory because I don't know how she handles the shiftier fighters, especially the ones who got power. When you combine speed and power, I think that's a problem with her for her. And then she's not that good of a grappler. Like the top girls for the most part in both of those divisions are decent to good grapplers. Most of them, not everybody, but put it this way, I think she would get to it faster. Man, I'm really thinking about it. The strawweight to me is more loaded. I think she'd get to the title faster at flyweight actually,
Okay, but
but her
think about it.
likelihood of winning
Uh-huh.
if it's Valentina or Santos.
Mm-hmm.
See, it ain't just about Valentina no more. So while it is about Valentina, because she's the queen, you still got people like that. Like I don't even know if she can beat um what do you call her? I'm trying the nickname that you gave her.
Oh, in strawweight.
No, at flyweight.
Oh, flyweight.
I mean, Shoe Shine is the one that I like that you use, but it's the other one.
Oh, Calzaghe.
Kazagi, Chukagian. What's the other one? There's
Oh,
another.
Michael. Oh, Michael Nunn.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Caitlin Nunn. Yeah,
Caitlin
that's
Nunn.
it.
Yeah,
I
Caitlin
don't
Nunn.
think she beats Caitlin Nunn per se. Like I think, I mean, maybe she could catch her on the right night, or maybe she could beat a worn version of her. But I just think her biggest issue, I think one of her biggest issues against top fighters is, in my opinion, is not just the technical skills, but IQ. I just don't think she has the IQ for those top fighters in either division. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think she beats Whaley. I don't think she beats Rose. I don't think she beats Lemos. And Lemos got power. Her power definitely carried down there because she moved down as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I say she would get to the title faster in flyweight. It would be tough though because she got to deal with some good grapplers. But I think she got a better chance of catching them with a knockout or hurting to the body,
Right.
other than at 115. I just don't think. I don't believe. I don't know. Is she going to? Maybe after a couple of fights and she adjusts to the weight. I just don't think her power is gonna carry down like that immediately. But I could be wrong.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When you bring up the speed that some of these girls have at strawweight, it's gonna be a problem, man. And I think she could get like the top five, but yeah, when she start getting in there with Lamos and them, it's gonna be a problem, man.
Yeah. So, but I hope that the fight when Aaron eventually happens. I would have. Why did Miranda? And then I want to move on to Angela Hill because I definitely want to talk about Angela Hill real quick.
Okay.
Why did Miranda call out Molly? I mean, I guess they said there was some trash talk going on.
Yeah, there was trash talk even before the Aaron Molly fight. So yeah.
I
I
just
mean,
feel
really, I don't know what to say about that one.
it's funny because like I would watch it, but it's kind of like Molly getting. It's like everybody. This is Molly Wop Molly. Like I
Right,
mean,
right.
he
It's
didn't talk a
Mollywop
lot.
Day, you know?
No, No, you know who Molly. You know who Molly looked like she about to be. Remember the good fellas, the Animaniacs cartoon where they had the birds, like the
Oh yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
fellas, and it was the one that always would end up smiling. And I guess he's supposed to be Ray Liotta. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah, the
he
one
always
always
get
getting
beat
beat
up.
up. Yeah.
He always get beat up. That's what Molly about to be right now. She about to be getting beat up because while she is drawing attention to WMMA, she getting the type of attention that, man, some of these grapplers slash strikers, man, I don't know, man. And then your boy Patty gonna make an excuse talking about she wasn't 100%. Maybe she wasn't 100% well rounded in that fight, and that's why she got taken down and beaten like she stole something. So I don't know.
Well, Patty, that means she should have been right. You know what I mean? Like she should have been more well rounded for getting in there to fight with somebody that grapples like Aaron. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like they gotta step out the box. Like she been working on that spinning back elbow and the boxing. That was not gonna cut it in there with Aaron. You got to be well rounded against Aaron Blanchfield. People don't understand Aaron is on another level. That's why I'm like, what did you think about Macy when she said Aaron is not that good?
I kind of just scoffed at it.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be honest with you. I did not realize, but I knew there was something about her, right? Because I didn't really follow Aaron Blackfield, but I knew that
Hmm.
you followed her, so I got to be something about her. I was more into Miranda, so I caught little glimpses of Miranda coming into the UFC, and I'm like, okay, she cool,
Hmm.
but I completely just missed. I honestly missed Aaron Blanchfield, so I don't know. Like, have she seen her ground game?
Hmm.
Like, I think that's the type of way you disrespect somebody that maybe like secretly you respect their skill set or some of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he really can't throw the ball that good, and he just throw it right on the dime every time. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know that if it goes to the ground, it's gonna be tough. Matter of fact, even if it's standing, it's tough because Aaron Blanchfield is smart. I mean, I'm not saying she has the greatest IQ, but it's a little better than Macy Barber.
Hmm.
Macy Barber
Hold
is
on
just
one
kind of,
second. Keep on talking. I'll be right back.
yeah, Macy Barber is just swinging for the damn fence. That's all she do. I mean, I give her credit, for being brave and constantly putting on the pressure, but it's like when Macy tries to think, she puts herself in a box. Like she can't like assess. She can't assess the data, break down the situation, and then make a play. Like she can't do it. She can't do it. Like that's not the type of fighter she is. Like maybe in training, maybe she can pick up on some things, but to me, if it's more of like a chess match, then it's gonna be Aaron, and I don't know. That's gonna be a hard fight for Macy. But again, because she's unpredictable and she keeps, the volume up, generally speaking, um, maybe she could pull it off. Maybe she can pull that fight off. But yeah, I just wish more people were actually like calling people out. You know what I'm saying? Let me look in this comment section. Pause. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Combo ain't back yet. Look at this comment section. I gotta pull up my tablet. Oh God, this is taking a long time. Anyway, y'all, what do y'all think? Do you think Macy could beat Aaron, or is she just? I mean, what do you think? Do you do a percentage? Like, what do you think the likelihood that she win that fight? In your opinion, what do you think? All right, come on now. Are you going to talk about what she said about Carlos and Gabriel Antonio? Shout out to all the new wrenches. TJ347. Shout out to all the new wrenches. I must now get that super wrench to time y'all out. 2023 goals. Nah, bro, you're gonna need a much bigger goal than that. Zaman in the building. Zaman in the
Okay.
building. Hey, your favorite trolls, your favorite, well, next to TJ 347. Your next one, your second favorite troll.
Oh, Zaman.
Zaman is in the building.
Zaman, man, do you still rock with Teresa Blade or did you dip out on her, man? You still rock with her?
I scream hating Rose. You stay hating Rose. Yeah, of course you do. High five. When she gave her bad remarks about Whaley, it's definitely a nicer person than Rose is. Look, everybody know how nice of a person Whaley Zhang is. This ain't got nothing to do with who win the fight, okay? Can we get off of this shit? I mean, apart, I apologize. I'm just
Oh,
saying. As a matter of fact, if Combo Breaker 99 was offering more links, I'd say give you one. Because I want to hear how you talk about who's
I
going to
put
win these
yeah, I put the
fights.
link. I put the link in the comment section. You know, if anybody want to click on it.
Right. Please click the link and let's talk some fighting because,
Yeah,
I
I
don't get me wrong. I denounced on my channel. I denounced everything that Rose said, but there's a whole lot of stuff that happens every day, and I mean at this point, every day. Nasty things being said online and interviews with these fighters, and it's like there's numbers of fighters that I defended. People ain't got nothing to say about it. We know this is because this is about the championship.
Mhm.
When your favorite fighter gets attacked in any way, it's hard for you to let it go. But
Oh, Gabriella asked me about the I guess what Macy said about Carla. Let me play that real part real quick. Let me see what she said. Hold on. All right, Whaley defeating Carla Esparza. Hold on.
Molly could have been a crazy draw if she was a real good fighter. Whole bunch of people. James Perez would be a good draw if they could beat people.
Oh, hold on for a second. I'm playing that clip. Hold on one sec.
Yeah. Uh, my issue with Molly was I agree, TJ.
Yeah. I mean, I that's expected, right? I mean, when it came down to it, like what Whaley improved in pretty much would destroy. I mean, I think I don't know, man. I think Macy would be able to beat Carla at this point, man. Like if she come in there with the right game plan, and if the weight, I mean, if she sticks to her striking game like she used to be at 115, she probably would give Carla Esparza some problems, man. I mean,
Carla's striking. I'm surprised. Now listen, we talking about against Whaley, okay? But in the past, it looked like her striking was kind of improving.
mm-hmm.
But I think she gunshot. I mean, I understand why. But she was gunshot against Rose, even though she won the fight. Carla does not want to strike. And I just don't think her technique, I don't know. But let me say this, and then I want to transition to Hill for a minute.
Oh, hold on, I got somebody else coming in here. It ain't
Oh
the
yeah,
first
go
one.
ahead.
It
All right.
better. I think it's who I think it is. That's you, right, Brian?
Yeah, it's me. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
Brian. All right, what's going
Brian
on,
is in the
Brian? All
building.
right.
closing the door and stuff. Oh, what's going on, fellas?
Not
All
much,
right.
man. Not much. What's going on with you?
Oh man, chilling, just having a glad to be here on with y'all.
All right.
I'm trying to get
What were
my
you saying?
YouTube
Huh?
back up on my. So get say again.
Oh, you connection was acting up. You said.
No, I'm trying to bring YouTube up on my laptop so I can check the chats. But
Okay.
yeah. But y'all go ahead while I do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Combo, I was saying basically Carla's striking just it's not efficient enough for certain fighters. Like if you don't have to worry about Carla, if you take Carla down, that gives Carla a problem. And if you don't have to worry about Carla taking you down, like if you're not afraid to go down, You see what I'm saying? On the ground with her, it kind of turns the table on Carla. Now I'm not gonna say Carla didn't do some good things, but really, I don't know why. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, the way that fight was going, if the fight stayed standing, Whaley still would have won the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only when Carla threw kicks did she even get a takedown or really anything. Like she just could have boxed her because it just didn't look like Carla. But I will say this, Carla, she did the one. No, this is a mistake that Carla made in that fight, and then I start transitioning to the next thing. But Carla should have threw more kicks in that fight. I mean, she should have did something different. Because the one kick she threw was okay, but it didn't really do anything. But I'm saying, like, I don't think she throws strikes better than she throws kicks. I don't know. But
I don't know, man. Her right hand, like, she was hitting Alexa Grasso with her right hand when she used it. So I was expecting her to use it.
I saw it. But let me say this. Speaking of somebody who has no, I always make fun of certain fighters for not having decent striking, right? But a fighter, and this is one of Coach's favorite fighters, was Angela Lee.
Yeah.
I was watching her fight from like 3 weeks ago. Also watched your girl, who was that? The Thug. You know what I'm talking about.
My
girl,
Chelsea Chandler.
Chelsea Chandler beating up who was that?
Story Ranko?
Nah, the same one that
Courtney King.
Courtney King, yeah, blood in here now. I'm watching that. She's sitting there like I've been working on her, her jaw all the day, long day. Anyway, all the night. But anyway, yeah. But I was watching that fight with Angela Lee, and it's amazing when she hits the ground. She's like a magician. It's like magic. It's beautiful. But she gets hit like 50 times. Like if she ever fought anybody who had one hit knockout power at a weight class, like,
bro, I'm telling you,
that's
what I talking about in the video. Like I just don't. I ain't feeling her hands, man. When it come down her hands, I'm not feeling it. That girl, if she get to the UFC, she gonna get knocked out.
Somebody is gonna figure out a way to knock her out.
Rose will knock her out.
Yeah,
who we talking about?
Angela Lee in ONE FC.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, she might as well just come in the ring, come in the cage with her hands tied behind her back. It's that bad, man.
She gets rocked,
and she somehow takes all of that. And I'm like, who was that? Who's the girl? What's her name? Stamp.
Yeah, Stamp.
Stamp was beating the hell out of her, laughing at her. But she messed up.
That messed up in that one, man. She should have kept going to the liver. She should have kept going to the midsection.
Yeah.
She could have stopped her. That was the first time, and you wasn't gonna be unstoppable then. She messed her up, but she messed up though. And that it's just like that move, Brian. It's just like that scene with the birds and who was that? Jim Kelly in the
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. That little bit of loss of concentration and that little bit of error, that little bit of fucking, it's over. But anyway, it is what it is. But Angela Hill, I'm happy that I got that pick so right because I was a little nervous. Because I'm like, man, Angela Hill might get knocked out for the first time in this fight. But she didn't. She did. You know what? Since I'm taking up so much time, I'm gonna let Brian. If Brian want to speak about that, and then I could come back to it. But Brian, how did you feel about the Angela Hill Emily Ducote fight?
Oh man, I wasn't surprised. Well, I shouldn't say that. I was surprised at just how much Angela committed to her striking and really took it to Ducote. But I wasn't surprised she won. I expected her to win because Ducote, I like Ducote, but she tends to start off slow, right? She always trying to find that perfect range to land the perfect shot or the perfect 1-2, and she's got power, and so she's looking for that that perfect shot, that perfectly timed shot, that power shot. Um, but Angela just did never. She never let her get comfortable. She just kept taking it to her, pressing the action. And I don't know why Cody didn't expect that. She should have at least expected the pace. What, if anything, surprised me about Angela, like I said, is that she actually committed to her punches. A lot of times you see uh, Angela in there throwing a ton of feints. She might throw 60 feints to 2 shots. You know what I'm saying? And then she don't even really commit to those. So it was for me. It was good to see her actually commit. I mean, it was similar to how she did in the Loopy fight. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't surprising. I was glad for her. I really, 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 since she was doing so well, it's not that I wanted to see the Cody get finished, but I was hoping that Angela would get a finish at when it came down to it after the second round. I was like, oh, please finish this girl. Get that finish you've been wanting. Take your game up to the next level, like you've been saying and trying to do for years.
And man, it's been taking her
So,
years, boy. But
man,
I'm glad she's doing it now, man. I mean, she's stopping these girls in their tracks, man. What y'all think about a fight with her and Dern? How that would be, man?
I'm taking Hill on that one.
Yeah.
I'm taking Hill on that one because I don't think Mackenzie will be able to take her down. Because again, Mackenzie just hasn't improved her in her wrestling and her ability to get the fight to the ground.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll would piece her up. Now, if it ever hit the ground, who knows what happens? It might be over. Going to the ground, Mackenzie Dern is like landing in a snake pit. Now, that does not automatically mean you're going to get finished, but it's a tough place to be. Her jiu-jitsu it's top notch, right? But her ability, her ground and pound, maybe if she worked defense, like there's ways to get people down without relying so much. Like she's never gonna be like Carla, she ain't gonna be doing double legs. I mean, maybe at some point she may do that, but I think she has to find a way to. I mean, not at the level of Valentina, but you ever look at Valentina's takedown, how she combines everything. Like it looks like wrestling, then it looks like judo. Bam, they're on the ground. You know what I'm saying? They need to find a way to piece together some type of strategy where she can keep putting pressure on people besides just trying to do what she did against teaching Tori to jump on her and just try to pull it straight down.
Oh, Seth, I'm glad you brought up that example. I was thinking about it today, man. I think I was listening to the coach on the way home. But Valentina, like shit, her takedowns, what she does, like she's not about to blast a double leg, you know what I mean? But what she does really well is she's pretty predictable if you think about it. And James gonna hate me for saying this, but she's pretty predictable. Like she's a counter striker, we know that. She counters you and you back straight up, she gonna finish that combination, and her counters are gonna be a combination. She's gonna finish that combination with a leg kick. If she counters you, she's gonna finish that and you stay there or don't move. She's gonna counter you by body locking you and taking you down. She's gonna body lock you. If you by the cage, she's gonna squeeze you on the cage, and all the while she just waiting for that perfect moment to get that inside trip, and down you go, or the outside trip, and down you go. And if Mackenzie Dern could learn something like that, to just be a specialist in how to get to her takedown, then she might have something.
Yeah, but she want to work on things like her striking and closing her eyes. Like that's something.
That's true.
Like why? That's a good point you made. Like Macy Barber, she's working on a good game plan of like closing distance and strength, clinching, and just really keeping fighters on the cage. And that's what Jan Janan is doing as well. But like Macy's work, not Macy, but Mackenzie working on like striking too much. Like she needed to get to a certain level with it like a couple years ago. Okay, that's fine. But like now her problem is her wrestling. Like it's still like not clicking in her mind that I need to wrestle these girls down. That's the only way I'm gonna get a submission. Like she's hoping and praying these home run punches land, but when you're dealing with a better striker, sh- you really just hoping for a prayer at that point, you know. Hold on, I'm looking at IG, man. Tyler Santos, she ain't stopping, man. She posted another picture. She said, "I want this rematch in Rio, Valentina." She is not
Call it
stopping.
out. Call it out.
What do you think about Macy Barber, Brian? Like, what do you think about her moving down to 115?
Man, I really don't remember. I have to go back and look at her fights at 115. I don't really remember Macy at 115,
Hmm.
but I think you hit the nail on the head. If that's something she's going to do, it's a whole lifestyle change. And, I don't know that she gets it under control to fight, in the next 6 months after she fights Andrew Lee. I don't know. Maybe she does, but it's a whole lifestyle change because she's thick and she's thick in areas of muscle, right? She's thick in her lower half. Somebody mentioned she had to lose her belly, but she's thick in the lower half, so she's thick from her waist down. She is thick, and so she got to get all that under control. And I don't know if she does that, and I don't know if she gets what one would expect that she thinks she's gonna gain by moving down. I question if she maintains her power at 115 after going through that lifestyle change. Um, who was that? Was that you, Savage, that said she might gain quickness, but the straw weights are fast, so it might not be enough.
Yeah, she'll
Yeah.
be faster, but she'll be fighting faster opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And if she can't catch them, let alone, have the
Yeah,
power. I don't know if her power will carry at this point, but I know that her being a little quicker, I've seen some of the old highlights. She was, I'm not going to say she was not quicker, but dealing with people like Rose and Whaley, like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It could still be an issue with the speed alone. That's what I was saying, Brian.
yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you. And in the division, it's more competitive. It's deeper, right? And you know, it's deep with a good mix. I would say, well, it's the strawweight division is deep with veteran fighters that are not past their prime. So ain't nobody gonna be bullied by Macy Barber. She's not bullying nobody at strawweight, not in the top 10. She's not gonna be able to. She's not coming in there. She's not gonna come into a fight with a fighter who's questioning, oh, is Macy gonna have the power to knock me out? None of them care about that. None of them care about that. So she's gonna fight fighters that are looking to whoop her butt, basically. But I'm interested to. I really am interested to like get in her mind and see why she thinks 115 is a better division for her. I really am curious about that.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask both of y'all this. Going back to you, Robert. What do you think, man? Like, I know you kind of talked about it, but like these past couple cards, man, just been like barren. You know what? 282 has no women, and the last card of the month only has one fight, man. Like, what you think about that?
Uh, if you saw my last community post,
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
you
that
would you
explains
would
it.
know exactly what I think about
That
it.
explains it.
I think that's pathetic. I think it is to me, it is a bit of a slap in the face of the women. Because I'm like, you got all that talent sitting there. You got all them straw weights. Okay. Um, Not only you got the 24 that you counted in your last podcast, but then you got those other ones in what was the 15. Like I I know that it's the holiday time, and I know psychologically we're trained to slow down. I understand that, and I know that the UFC runs like a machine. I mean, if you did the numbers on how many fights get done in the UFC in just 3 months versus the boxing in a year, it's insane. But still, you don't see that many WMMA fights. It seemed like before the pandemic, it seemed like it was a little bit more consistent. Now it's like you don't see anything. So I think, I don't know, is it a lack of interest or is it just the way the company schedules things? But I'm like, these girls look like they want to fight. Most of them do. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Um, that's what I was thinking. I thought, hey, you about to come up on Christmas. I thought somebody wanted to get a check, you know.
I mean,
Shit.
I mean, Robert
It
Henry
ain't
is absolutely right. It's enough fighters
yeah. It's
to
enough.
get fights. You know what I mean? It's enough fighters in the division, in the strawweight division alone. But it's enough female fighters to make fights. You can get something on these cards. You can get something on these
Zaman
cards.
said the best part of Barber's game is the clinch and cage work. She thinks she'll be able to bully smaller fighters. Let me see.
She
I don't know. Like she'll have to get him there first, you know, and because
right.
I don't know if she's going in with the mindset to bully him. Maybe she just wants to go back and try her luck. I mean, she wasn't really doing that before. Like she was much more
I think
athletic before.
I think Barber has to fight ugly to win a fight. That's my opinion. I
That's her
think
style.
she's more of a chaos type fighter. Not to mention Kobe, but you know what I mean. She needs to fight like that. That's how he wins his fight. I mean, and here's the thing: she got power. So I'm like, if she can harness that in a more just controlled way, if she could just master a level of countering, then that would decrease what you know what I'm saying. What her opponents do. You see what happens when
hmm
people fight Valentina, fight Lemos. I'm not saying she can equal that, but maybe if she can get them, because I'm telling you, even in fights where she won, she was getting teed off on. I mean, what was that? Who was that she hit with that left hook and what's my girl that recently got beat up by didn't
Oh,
Aaron beat her up?
Aldridge.
Aldridge, what's my
JJ,
girl name?
yeah.
Right, Melonhead. But she was beating the hell out of Macy. And then she got caught, and that was the end of the story.
That was
But
that. Yep.
that's the
Mhm.
problem
That was
when you
that.
got country strength, and or you know hit somebody in
What-
the head for like they got hit by a nuclear warhead or something. I don't know, but
But that
I yeah, go ahead.
no, you finish your thought, man.
No, all I was gonna say was is that in terms of her, I was trying to get to was she got to fight in the clinch. She got to get that. Like I don't mean like break the rules dirty. I just mean like she gotta fight rough.
Yeah, you gotta
Like
make it grimy. Yeah.
you can't certain fighters like with Valentina. If Valentina ever lose at flyweight, it's gonna have to be somebody willing to get in there. Like if you looked at what Valentina was doing to Santos late in the fight, it wasn't dirty. She didn't technically do anything on purpose, but she was getting rough. That's how you got to fight Valentina. Valentina is like fights like a gangster. You know what I'm saying? It's within skill, but like if you're not willing to get rough with these girls, a lot of them you ain't gonna be able to beat. So I just think Macy Barber needs to, get a little bit more intelligent, but she got to keep that edge because I just don't think she has it. Like it's like Shemaev, right? Shemaev come in that first round trying to stop you. That's just his mentality. Macy is trying to outlast you and catch you. Like she needs it, but that's not going to be enough if she doesn't work on her rest of her game. That's all I was trying to say.
Well, I think she is. I think, her last two fights, I think she's shown a level of improvement in, both her technique and her IQ, her octagon IQ. So I think she is working on that part of her game, and that's why when I only saw the like the brief like 1 or 2 minute snippet from the interview that she did, but I've been trying. Combo will tell you, I've been trying to roll with Macy lately because I've been seeing her improvements, and even though I couldn't stand her persona, I was trying to become a Macy fan because I saw what she was doing out there respected. But when she said that, she said all the stuff that she said today. I mean, some was right, but it was just a bunch of. I was like, oh my Jesus, she back.
Yeah,
But
that
she's
definitely definitely rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But hey, it's all good.
Combo. I
Yeah,
want to ask you,
yeah.
how did you feel? What do you think about Macy Barber saying she exposed Miranda?
Oh my gosh, man, come on, girl. Going back to what I said earlier, I had to say, come on now, Macy. Like Miranda coming into the game, she was a grappler. She's coming in working on jiu-jitsu. She's won tournaments. I was like, how's she gonna say Miranda did not have jiu-jitsu until like she fought her? I was like, come on now. Or she didn't have jiu-jitsu when she fought her. I'm like, that's her main go-to. She was not like this pure striker. So that was to make her win look a little bit better, but at the same time, you didn't win.
Nope.
Aaron did.
No. The record says.
No,
Right.
look,
Well, that's
Let
true.
those say.
look, the
The
record that don't
record
work with
say.
me on that. That don't
The
work.
record don't work with this fight because I think even
Not
Coach
with
thinks
this
he
one.
lost that fight.
Yeah.
But
Look, wait, hold on. Just to get James riled up, it works on the Nunes Shevchenko fight, but
oh, don't do that. Don't do that, Combo. You know what I
Okay, let
wanted
me
to
stop.
see? What I wanted to see, um, James Perez, the biggest Valentina Shevchenko fan worshiper, and Zaman, the biggest Shevchenko family hater. He just hate anything called it. I wanted to see them clash, but it didn't happen tonight. I was gonna go off like a bomb.
No, man, we don't. We can listen. James Perez. Hey, James Perez has been on it tonight in the chat, man. James Perez has been on it, straight level head, straight facts about, especially the interviews that we talking about. Straight facts, the Whaley and the Macy interview. So I've been trying to talk James off the ledge. Don't fall for it, James. Don't fall for it. They fake me, bro.
Yeah, somebody gotta. I don't know. Maybe Valentina texted him and told him, "Hey, calm down. It's all right. I know you love me, but just calm down, Jay. I know you're gonna be in the next fight. When somebody's willing to actually get out there and like fight, this is funny. It's so funny. And I have been saying this, Brian, like over a year. I'm like, why won't they call out? Look, listen. Who has ever called out Valentina in the cage in that history of that division?
Nobody.
Nobody. And Santos is the first person to actually legit trash talk and troll her. Like this, we got to remember this moment. This may never happen again in Valentina's career. Like you afraid of
No,
like,
Jessica I
nobody
called
else.
her out. Jessica
I.
I
Oh
actually
yeah,
called
yeah.
her out.
Okay, yeah. Jessica, I give her that. Yeah, she did. She
Yep.
did. She was
Did she
one of the
call her
ones.
out in the cage though? I want to know.
She did. She told them to give her that title shot. Yeah, she did.
Wow, we got to go all the way back to Jessica I, who got her evil eye
Mm-hmm.
kicked out by Valentina.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to. I mean, I'm not trying to be too
Mm.
disrespectful to Jessica because at least she took the fight and she was not afraid. You feel me, man? At the end of the day, I mean that kick. Hey. I'm just glad she was able to get back
Oh,
up.
Jesus.
But anyway.
Oh, man.
Brian, I wrote a song. I never finished it. I did it just for fun, and one of the first lines is about somewhere Jessica's head is still spinning, something like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I might find it, bring it back, but I don't know. But that's when I was really on my whole just laughing at the competition. But I'm a little more. I'm a little more tempered until something else happened, but yeah. I just figured I'd publicly ask that question because I could, and up until then, I couldn't get no answers. Like, who has ever called out Valentina in that division? And I'm like, Jessica, okay, well, that's enough said. Maybe that's why nobody's called her out. Now, thank you, Brian. You figured it out now. They
Yeah,
saw
that
her go
knockout.
down like,
Yeah, that
man,
knockout made people say, "Don't call her out."
Yeah,
everybody in
leave
the
this one
top
alone.
five just said,
Yeah.
shh, don't say
Oh
nothing.
man.
She'll hear you.
You know what the best thing about that knockout was?
What?
Literally everybody in the world could see that head kick coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Except for Jessica I.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's what made it even. Oh, it's like a.
Oh,
It's
she
like
made it.
it's
She
like a
set it
horror
up so
movie,
well.
man. It's like
Oh,
Jason's behind that door, but the victim, that one of them campers just don't know.
Hey, that's a perfect analogy right
Yeah.
there.
You be like, get out the cage now. But it's like too late, man. Put your hands up.
I think it's more like Jason is a better example than Michael Myers. Michael Myers is a little he a little more quiet. He want to be smooth with it. Most of the time, Jason is just waiting behind the door,
yep.
and you drunk, you ain't paying no attention. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
hang on one second
Oh,
here. Yeah, what Letter has said. Have you heard about everyone heard about James Krause? Yeah, I did. Oh, she must have got that auto correct. She said code breaker. Hold on. She said, okay, the FBI has been talking to fighters at the gym and took their phones and computers from everyone and people to talk. Wow. He might be going to jail. He might get some time.
wow.
Yeah. Robot chick said, yeah. Yeah, he might be going to jail.
James Krause, wasn't that the one that was messing around with
Megan
uh
Anderson,
and what's Big and Addison old friend Stinko? I
Laura
mean
Sanko.
Yeah, word
Sanko.
is both. Sound like both.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
Boy, they were fighting over him, but now he gonna be fighting behind bars. It look like.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what, man? I always got that just shady, slick douchebag feel from James Krause ever since he was on the Contender series.
Mm-hmm.
He just seemed like that kind of dude. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
none of this surprises me. It surprised me if he was like using his own fighters to win best. That would be surprising. I
Mm.
don't know.
Oh yeah, they taking
That
this thing seriously though. I mean, they going at him. So yeah, he might be. Yeah, you won't see him for a while. You won't see
because
him for a while, Litter.
Yeah, send James Krause to jail and exonerate Cain Velasquez. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? Look,
Three
some
King.
situations is a time to kill. You can't like the stuff that I see people get prison time behind. I'm like, nah, come on. You gotta. It's not
Yeah.
that easy, man. It's not that easy to say what you would have done in a situation like that.
Yeah. Mojo said, Valentina kicked that evil eye out. Dang.
Popped right out. I'm talking about it went right out. I was amazed.
Look,
I'm like,
and
that
then
kick.
after it finished rolling, she danced on it.
Yeah. I mean, she
No.
like the way she like stepped over it too. Like she just like did this little dance move over. I was like,
She was like Michael Jackson, I'm bad, without saying it. Like that kick was timed the night before. That's how perfect it was timed.
mm-hmm.
Hey, Jay. Brian, do you remember when Coach, when people would send in the super chats, he had the
Uh-huh.
screen, it would play the Valentina kick, the Jessica I every time the money come in, and then it would stop right when she start dancing.
No, I would never that.
Yeah, man, that's how I got started making content because he had this little thing where you would send it PayPal, and
Mm-hmm.
you could send a statement in through this woman voice, sound like almost like a nurse or a doctor, and I would be saying all types of crazy stuff about Nuance or Ronda Rousey, the Bochango check everybody. I'd just be going off on them. Yeah, I'd just be going off on them. Everybody kept saying, "Man, you savage." I would just go off on everybody. But anyway, we're gonna leave Evil Eye alone because he's in a retirement and
Yeah.
enjoying our OnlyFans page for whoever's viewing that. So
All right. Hey, okay. Gabrielle said thoughts on Irina Axleva. She was signed months ago. I've seen her. They call her the Runt. Russian Ronda. She's only like 4-1 in the UFC. I think at bantamweight, she could be.
She's in the UFC already.
Yeah, she could be maybe like an unranked type of threat, but I think skill level, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's ready yet. Like she's only been fighting overseas, like in Russia, the Russian circuit, but she hasn't really. Man, like she ain't fought nobody like Invicta. She ain't fighting contender series. They just signed her at 4-1. That's what I'm saying. Like Tanisha Tennant got a better skill set, and she's not. This girl here hasn't finished. She only has one R bar on the record. So I don't know how she got the Russian Ronda nickname, but I mean, we'll see, Gabriella. It's 4-1 though. It's a lot of work to be done with that girl.
Combo.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned Tanisha Tennant, objectively,
Mm-hmm.
you too, Robert, you can answer this too. Objectively,
Robert's link must
both
have
of you.
dropped.
Oh, okay. Objectively, man, what do you see as potential like factors that might be leading to UFC not wanting to sign Tanisha Tennant?
Well, I did a video like a year or two ago, and I think people didn't really agree with me then, but now they kind of see it. Well, Coach, he did, of course. I think her being a black woman is a big part of it. Maybe not like flat out racism in that way, but the demographic. Just because you don't have a great deal in the UFC, I thought that was a factor, and also that kind of leads into her Instagram following. She doesn't have really like a big social media following, so with the less followers and the less attraction to what you can bring in, I think those are two of the big keys. And third, I would say probably style would be an issue. She's a technical type of fighter, so people don't really see that. See, Robot Chicken just proved my point. He said she's kind of boring. She's boring to him, but I don't think of her as a boring fighter. I think she's a fighter that thinks the technique first. And that's kind of a mistake when you're going into the UFC because they want knockouts, they want arm bars and so on, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe you could even say like her IQ is higher than Mackenzie Dern, but Mackenzie Dern is there. Why? Because like Robot Chicken said, Mackenzie Dern ain't boring, and she's eye candy to certain people, So I think it's those two things going against her, but it really shouldn't be an issue. I mean, you would have somebody that could win versus just bringing in somebody based off of looks who would just rack up losses. I mean, Ramona Pascal 0-3, Estela Nunes 0-3, right? This Maria Oliveira, she's like 1-3 or 1-2 now. So instead of going off of looks, they'd be better off going off somebody with skill. They probably could do better signing somebody that is a different look, because they could still give you a better reputation and say, oh, we signed skillful fighters over here. That Dana White's, thing, the UFC has the best fighters. Well, do they? You kind of start to question that too. Like Gabrielle brought it up to me the other day. You look at the skill gap between 115, it's very broad, man. It's very broad. So I think those are the things, not everybody agrees with me, but I just think those are two of the things. Like, believe me, if she looked like Haley Cohen, who just got signed, she would be here.
And that's the thing, man. I agree with everything you said, but like for me, the thing that's why I asked you, what do you think objectively? Because we both black men, we can't help. That's always going to be part in the back of our mind. Is race a part of it? That question is always going to come up, right? Is race a part of it when somebody's being denied or denied entry into something? And for the life of me, I feel the same way as you do, but I just keep playing it in my head, man. I can't, for the life of me, with all the black fighters on the UFC roster, I can't, for the life of me, figure out why you would like deny or not sign Tanisha Tennant, even though Dana White thought she beat Danielle Wolf,
Right.
even though you have a dying, or at the very least, floundering bantamweight division. Why not sign some new blood to it?
Right. Because look at this. I almost put me. Shout out to coach because he felt the same way. We started to put Teresa in that category, but Teresa put on a performance he said wasn't worthy of the UFC. But what does he do? He goes back and signs her. Well, if you felt Tanisha won that fight, wouldn't you just go back and sign her at some point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And still to this day, like he still hasn't signed Tanisha Tennant.
Mm-hmm.
Still to this day. Like why? Why? What else are you doing with the bantamweight division? And then he signs Haley Coleman.
Right.
Who like had a, so performance at best, right? It was like, it was okay. To me, she won, but to me it was like, it was nothing spectacular. It was nothing spectacular.
Almost got submitted in that fight. I was watching
Yeah.
it, and I was like, yo, Haley's about to get submitted. But then she comes back and wins a split decision. And, he's like, oh, we need her. She's got everything. Something to that effect. He said she's got everything or she's got the package. And I'm thinking like, oh, I already know what the package is.
She got that simp candy.
Right. Yeah, simp candy. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. You got, so yeah, like, you and I think somebody else asked me that like 2 years ago, and I did a video on it. And yes, I feel the same way about it. Shout out to Coach. We did an interview with her before, and she's definitely a somebody that's dedicated. She's a nice fighter. She's somebody that they could use in the UFC as far as representing them. She's always talking about her growth and everything. And, everybody that works in her camp is in the UFC except her. Caitlin Kagan, Aaron, Claudia was in there. Oleg, Sarge, you know what I mean? So everybody except her. It's crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. But
let me see. Marcus Bell said UFC signed Danielle Wolf out of all people. Yep. And what she did.
Yeah, I got you back. Did you hear that question, Robert? I'm gonna let you answer it if you want.
What was the question?
Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, about Tanisha?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
okay, do I already know what you're about to say? Why she's not in the UFC, right?
Hold on, before you started, let me check James Perez. First of all, James, you don't know. First of all, I worked in the business as far as video and film too. I know what people look for. So you can't tell me her being a black woman is not part of it when you know what the demographic is. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you the question, Robert Henry, and then you can go back to this point because it kind of makes a really good point because it is a difference between the men and women. But so my question was, what do you think objectively, Robert Henry? Objectively, what do you think are possible factors that have led UFC to not sign Tanisha Tennant?
Okay, I think this is my opinion. I hope this is objective enough, but I think it has something to do with her and her team. I think the fact that Tanisha Tennant doesn't have, first and foremost, there's not a lot of Black American, like, not fight fans, because that's growing in MMA, but like there's just not a lot of, other than fact, like she's a good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
She comes from a loyal team. She's excited. I can't think of any other reason they didn't want to sign her because she doesn't really have a big following, and she comes from a minority group. I can't think of anything other than that. I mean, at least off the bat, because it's not for lack of entertainment. It's not for lack of skill. It's not for lack of, a personality of somebody who wants to fight, or a person that people would be interested in. Oh, and it's not even, Brian, get this, it's not even lack of a good story. Because if you knew
Mhm.
about her story and how she got there, you could sell that.
Exactly.
So there's really no excuse for her not to be in the UFC if Dana wanted that to be. Because this is the first time that I can remember. Let me know if I'm wrong. A fighter loses, Dana himself and everybody else agrees that she won, and he don't sign her. He signed both fighters in a competition in that contender series
Yep,
just because of how both of the fighters fought before. He's done that multiple
he's done
times.
that. Yep,
He might even done that with the women before. I know he did it with dudes. So there's some politics or
Let me
some type of
stop you 1 minute, Robert. I was reading another comment here. Okay, James. You know the difference between a black woman and a black man. There's still a difference, right? You can still make a lot more money off a black man than you can a black woman, right? You
yeah.
know, the NBA has a lot of black players, right? How about the NFL? All right, you can go on, Robert.
And piggybacking off of what you just said, I believe I have not followed WMMA as long as some people, maybe even some people that's on right now. But I can say this without a shadow of a doubt, in my view, the most discriminated fighter in MMA is the black American female. I don't care if Angela Hill been there as long as she was the ubiquitous. I'm not trying to shit on Angela Hill. I'm not. I'm just saying she was the one, and she remains the main one. You'll see black Brazilians here and there. You'll see, some other background, maybe, African, but oh, whoa, I gotta take it back. I gotta give what's her name, Danger. She
Oh,
was there for a little.
Dobson. Yeah. I think somebody just
Even,
mentioned. Yeah. Shin
even,
said.
but Dobson was like 100 times worse fighter than Ashley Hill.
And
But I
you got
respect
to
her for being
remember
a fighter.
they put them in the contender house.
yep.
Okay,
Sorry, same with
okay, all
Sarge.
right,
Same with Sarge. Yep.
Yeah,
right. Oh, and Sarge, and
exactly.
Sarge, and
Yeah.
Sarge. You Sarge for credit, but they don't really take. You see what I'm saying? But that's like three fighters. When you see 100 Brazilians, I understand that, right? But now you're seeing more Asian, which at first it wasn't really, even though it was martial arts, it wasn't really that, expanded as far as Asian women. I think who was it? Jan was the first one, and then Whaley the second, or something like that, to
Hmm.
get signed to the UFC.
Hmm.
So you can see that they don't really, other than like the Latin world and the Spanish, they hadn't really expanded well with the women. They starting to now, but it's like the black women, and I mean like around the way girls, like it's just slim pickings. It's slim pickings, and maybe a few years ago in that bantamweight division, you might have saw, and I could be making this up in my mind. Maybe there were some girls, but I didn't see them. I don't remember them. So I
No, man.
definitely think that has something to do with it, Brian, because there are fighters who they never were champions. They never competed in big matches or necessarily notable matches or a whole lot of them. They didn't beat three people in one night. They didn't fight people who were naturally bigger than them. They didn't outbox boxers. They didn't have that type of striking. They didn't have that type of, whatever. And they got signed. And they got signed. Look, Lupita came back. Was it Lupita? Not Lupita. The one who lost to uh Shevchenko, the one that lost to Antonina. She came back. I'm like,
Oh,
why can't you do that for what's her
Pudilova.
name?
Oh
Pudilova.
yeah, yeah.
She can.
Pussy put along.
You're gonna have another 3 or 4 girls
Mm.
come back and leave the UFC, leave and come back to UFC before they even get this girl a look, man. It's ridiculous. That's why I hope all these new leagues, if I hope something becomes of them. Maybe they can't compete directly with the UFC, but
I,
maybe they can build something where it's substantial competition because
hold on
Bellator
one
right
second,
now.
Rob. Hold on one second, James. Come on. Okay, you say you either racist across the board or you're not. That's why Brian asked me this question, because you still don't understand racist, I don't think. Like, you can be
Oh
racist, yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, across the board. But you know when to play your cards, and I ain't gotta go into this.
You
It,
know why you ain't got to go on this? Because it's like, why didn't Jerry Jones hire a black coach a long time ago? You see what I'm saying?
right.
It's about
It's
money,
yeah,
man. This is
your
about
players.
business.
Yeah, your players
It's
can be black
graph.
all day. Your players can be black all day, but your owners, nah, we gotta keep the owners and coaches a certain. This is deep for you. This is deep for you, James. Deep.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna try to break it down real quick for James Convo,
Go ahead, man.
because James is. You have to understand. James ain't trying to say anything. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to dispute it. He just don't know. And
Right.
so, um, the reason that it's different for like it's the reason you can have UFC can have a roster full of black men, black American men on the roster, and it'd be different on the women's side. So on the one hand, true, it's not a lot of black American females in the fight game, period, right? Especially not mixed martial arts. Okay, so that's one thing. But it's also, you gotta, from the standpoint of the business, James, and anybody else who's wondering, from the standpoint of the business, the UFC demographic is what it is. It's, majority white males, between probably, 25 and 40,
Yeah, like me
right?
and BJ always say, the 18 to 35-year-old white male.
Yeah. And so, that ain't necessarily, the black female is not necessarily what they're looking for, right? It's not gonna draw them in. What they want to see, we all know, and then they want to see the reason the black zillions get in, is because they're exotic, because they're not from here. And they can look just like us, but they're not from here. They're exotic. They're Brazilian. They speak a different language, et
Thank you.
cetera, et cetera. Every man, black, white, whatever, likes an exotic woman. That's a fantasy, something exotic. Whatever you are, something that's exotic to your norm. That's what we like.
Thank
That
you.
intrigues us. And so, from a money standpoint, that could be the, if you want to call it the race card, that could be the racial side of, you know, this thing.
Hmm.
Because, the reason I asked the question specifically using the word objectively is because, all right, we black men, we see that aspect of it. But in terms of the tangibles, like, it's in terms of, her fighting style and what she brings as a fighter, yeah, I can see, like, she's not the most exciting fighter.
Hmm.
But like you said, Combo, that in and of itself ain't enough.
Hmm.
Especially when they sign people like,
Tabitha Ricci.
Cohen, yeah, Tabitha Ricci.
Ooh.
Well, no, you know why they signed
What
Tabitha
was the
Ricci.
what's the girl Kay Hansen? Oh
Jay
God,
Hansen.
Oh yeah, Kate Hansen.
I'm
Yeah.
going to watch. I'm definitely going to watch Tenet over Kay Hansen born fight itself. She's just gonna try to lay on top of you if she can. There ain't nothing exciting really about her fighting style to
See, I
me.
like Jay Hansen. I don't know, I like Jay Hansen, but that's a
No,
different story.
no, no. But okay. She'll look good in spots. What I'm saying is, if it's Tenet or Tenet or Hanson, like give me the Tanisha, because at least I'm gonna see a nice technical striking match. I'm gonna see a back and forth. Kay Hansen tends to either roll over opponent, or she just get dominated. But anyway, aside from that, I want to add to your point. Then maybe we can close out on this. I don't know. I mean, because James Perez, I'm about to sit him in the corner with high five, like he just going in the circle. He just going in the circle, getting nowhere. I know you don't mean it though. I know you don't mean it. It ain't nothing personal. But
No.
I don't know what high five means anymore, so I stopped talking. But in terms of Tanisha Tennant, to make it worse, combo, I
Hmm.
think what makes it really bad is I think the UFC is right to a degree, but I think they should go against, in my view, it's like they know if they sign Tanisha Tennant and they backed her, she could
Oh no, I
turn.
know that.
She could turn
But
out to be something potentially special. Even if they don't want to rush and get it right now, if they just planned on in the next couple of fights, you know what I'm saying? If she do well signing her, I think it could be something special. But I think this goes back to what Brian was saying about not too many black women being in combat sports, period, and specifically WMMA, because her following, even though it's not all about the following, okay? Your following don't necessarily make you the whatever, okay? What's that girl, Sweetie? She got about 20 million Instagram followers. She can't follow her. She can't sell 10,000 records. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? You can
Mhm.
have half the world following you. That don't mean they want to buy. Or they don't want to buy like that. Anyway, so my thing is, I think they look at her following. I think of the fact that they look at it that she's not known. She's coming from a lesser known camp. And I know it sounds so racial when you just say lesser all the damn time, but it's like they don't want to touch it. They just don't. They want to see if she can build herself up. And I wonder, Brian, if she had the magical 2, 3 knockouts in a row, would that be enough? And then and somewhere in my mind, she's been denied so much. I'm like, if she knocks out her next 3 opponents, they still might not sign her, man. That which would be ridiculous. But I
it
don't
would be
know,
ridiculous.
man.
Well, you know
And
what?
if she knocked out,
Yeah, if
if
she
she
did
did
knock
out,
out like 3 people in a row, I think there would be no denying it. People would be
yeah,
asking.
no deny.
But going back to what I
Yeah.
said earlier when Brian first asked me, I think her being very technical early on is kind of a curse. You know what I mean? Like it's smart,
Yeah.
but it's a curse to the business. People think she's boring. Like people think Floyd Mayweather is boring, but you can't do nothing about it because he didn't get that technical. He's always been technical, but the style he uses now, it's like so far up in his career where he's already making millions. So they always have to accept it. But like when it's early in this game, they can make a choice with it and say, okay, she's not bringing she's not bringing the excitement. So we're going to hold off on her until she knocks out at least 3 people in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, and here's the reality, and this is very simple. This is a very basic, simple form of discrimination, okay? Because let's assume that Mayweather was fighting that style that he adapted in his earlier years.
Hmm.
It don't matter because he a dude. A dude not losing fights don't get attention. Sooner or later, he could be the most boring. Come on, man. You understand the history of boxing. There's some boring boxers that had some good
Mm-hmm.
records. You had some boring boxers that just keep winning fights,
Hmm.
or they weren't the most technical or something, or they would do like I'm not gonna say he didn't have no technical skill, but like Rocky Marciano. He wasn't necessarily the most, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he could put people out though. You don't necessarily have to have the most. Oh no, not even him. What was the guy that used to dig his head in everybody? I can't think of his name, but that's all he would do. You can't even fight like that no more. I can't think of you. It was, I can't think of his name, but not Archie. I can't know. I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name, but his style was just gritty and ugly. There was nothing pretty about it. I mean, like I know Joe Frazier didn't necessarily have the most technical, but it was beautiful to watch in its own odd way. It was, this guy just was digging people's chests and just but again, those are dudes. People are ready to. That's my point. I don't mean to go on too long about that.
Yeah, yeah.
These are dudes, man.
Now, if I was working in her corner, if I was her manager, like Tanisha, I would say, with the longer they take to sign you, this is the time you have to just get better. You really have to work and just get better and better. And say you have to work 10 times harder than your average girl that they sign. Like that's something you have to tell certain type of fighters, like a young black girl trying to fight. You say you have to, in America, you have to fight 10 times harder because they're going to be 10 times you have to fight 20 times harder, 20 times harder because they're going to be 10 times harder on you. you know You have to kind of put that in some fighter's head like that. And I think that's why she's working the way she is, but it's kind of working against her in this case, you know? He wants to be
Yeah.
better technically, but they'll find some way around it. So that's how I feel about it. I mean, James, I don't, you know, you ain't from here,
Hey,
so you
James.
know.
So James, I want you to know the diversity. I don't care whether it's sports. Now, of course, there's areas where certain people dominate a little bit more, but generally speaking, all that diversity talk, it's fake. Trust me, it's fake. You be working 80% harder just to get halfway in certain fields. I'm not saying that some people are not blessed and not fortunate, or people recognize them early, but just being talented is not enough. Sometimes you need help. You need help,
Okay.
for different
And
reasons.
think about it, like Dana, okay, he's a businessman, right? Okay. But even that's channeled by a form of racism because you're going by a certain stat that people want. And you're going by looks or uh, sex appeal before you actually go by what the UFC is supposed to be about, fighting, right? And is it really a smart business move to sign somebody that's going to rack up 3 losses in a row and then you got to cut them? Like, was it worth the investment? I don't know. Is that true? Is that worth the investment? You sign 2 or 3 fighters that lose 4 times in a row and you got to get rid of them versus somebody that could win and become a draw, a potential draw. Like, I'm just asking. Am I missing something?
I don't think you're missing anything because
Nope.
at the end, yeah, I
I thought
don't.
I was for a second. I was blacking out. I was like, oh crap. I don't know. I don't know. Like, maybe I'd rather sign
I
Fano
mean,
Moto Pascal before I sign
you
a
signed
TBT.
a third, you signed a 37-year-old lifelong boxer with 14 losses, no stoppages, and only one career MMA fight. Like it to me, it's a slap in the face.
Hey, look,
Like
James
I
said,
don't
look,
care.
hold on.
Was
James said if
ridiculous.
Tanisha was white or Asian and he wouldn't sign her, you wouldn't mention her race. You're right, because she would be signed.
Yep. She
Duh.
would be. She would be. If she looked like Haley Cohen, she would be signed.
She would be signed. Come on now. Siri
If she looked
Kondo,
like Haley Cohen.
Joey
And
Hom,
so,
Wu
and
Yanan.
again, I don't think I'm not it's like I don't think any of us, the three of us, I don't think any of us is sitting here calling UFC racist. And we,
Mm.
we aren't calling Dana White a racist. I don't call anybody racist unless I know for sure by proven facts. But um, but race is in a part of the equation
Yeah, definitely.
for the reasons that we talked about. The demographic, man, they're looking out for the demographic, right? They want
Yeah,
at the end of the
James.
day,
Yeah, go ahead.
they want somebody that's going to be able to sell fights. And we know what the UFC demographic is. It to me it's crazy that so many of us are WMMA fans, like us black men who MMA fans, and we strictly about the fights. We about the fights, right? And the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the demographic, like the rest of the UFC demographic, ain't really is. It doesn't look like the WMMA universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
I
But
I understand. Yeah, I understand how somebody could believe that the UFC is racist in this sense, and it ain't just the UFC. I think MMA has a bad rap for racial and discriminate. I'm not saying it. It's there in boxing. It's everywhere, right? I mean, that's reality.
Oh yeah,
But for
yeah.
some reason in MMA, it's very pronounced where it don't go checked hardly at all ever. Like the boxing at least try to cover it up sometime, right? But when
Oh,
MMA,
when
it's
you hit
like
a certain year. I mean, back in the day, boxing was just straight up in your face. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. My theory is that the hardcore fans are all about the fight, and some of the casuals about the fight. You got some people who are like somewhere in between that, but there's a whole huge demographic of people who unfortunately follow this sport. They don't give a damn about nothing but race. I mean, that's in boxing too, but in MMA, I just
that's
didn't
true.
know it was this bad, man. I just did not know.
There's some of those out there.
And, and you know what? People don't treat racism the same across the board because you see, like, people want to push back whenever I got something to say, but like, as soon as Rose did say something to Whaley, it was like a big thing. But when Paulo Costa puts on blackface, I ain't hear nobody really.
Oh boy, nobody say a
I didn't
damn
want to
thing
make a
about
video on
that.
it because he really did get at in my skin. I just posted it up on Twitter on my community page, and some people see that's what I'm saying. Like, some people are ignorant to what we experience because
Mm-hmm.
they think that it was harmless, or they say, "What is that? I don't even know what that is." Like, and it's so in your face. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, Rose says something, and even with what Rose said, you really have to dig in deep into the history. But his was like basically saying the N word. He
Then
basically
he gonna
said
try
the
to
N word.
backtrack.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
he backtracks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I'm like, people do play the fence with it. Let's be real with it. Like, it's not the same across the board. Because the minute I say this, there's going to be a lot of, oh, no, she's boring, or no, Dana likes black people. He likes all the black men. Well, you know what I mean. Like, so there's always going to be that pushback. Like, it's not the same across the board. So
I
for me,
mean,
it is
Joanna had
because
a
nobody should have to deal with it, in my opinion. That's how I am.
Joanna had a history of being racist toward people,
Oh.
especially Asians, and you didn't see
Oh.
nearly the same outcry. That was the thing that got me. I'm like, she posted a picture talking about gas masks, and I'm like, but where were y'all then? I mean, a few people talked about it. Coach talked about it. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
is it an American thing? Is it an American born thing? Is it a more of a certain type of white thing? Because you understand, Brian. I mean, you understand. And Combo, I'm sure you understand. There's nuance to the racism shit. Some people, oh, it's all right as long as they that kind of black. It's all right if
Mhm.
they that kind of European or that, or that type of Hispanic. It's everywhere. It's all mixed in such a way to where people don't want to admit that they're being a little biased in
Mhm.
terms of how things, if I don't see something and somebody points something out, fine. But if I've seen something, brought it up, called it out, and moved on, please don't tell me, don't preach to the choir. Don't tell me that, oh, you want to live in a world where your kids, first of all, I ain't got no damn kids, but if I did have them, that's none of your business. But, you know, I want to live in a world where, all this hate. And it's like, no, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. I do not approve. There's a bunch of stuff
Oh
but sitting
yeah.
there arguing,
And right
messing up
now,
the.
I'm gonna be real. Racism kind of taking the burner for some of the things that's going on in the world today. For
Right.
me, it really has. I
Yeah.
mean, we're in a different place now, and
Shit.
I
Mm-hmm.
know people are where I'm at. Where I'm with as far as religion and spiritual stuff, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, like, yeah, it's when people bring it up that you have to kind of come back to. I'm like, are we really still here? I'm like, this is the last thing I'm really worried about. you know?
Yeah, but people don't know combo that they think that black guys, oh, we just always want to talk about race, and like the first person to bring up race is the racist or the person
Yeah.
who's very ignorant.
Mhm.
That's the issue. I might have not even thought about anything dealing with race. I mean, I'm not ignorant of who I am or the differences in people, but they try to cover it up as if, oh, it's just that every other black person is obsessed with race. Like, no, the fuck, we're not.
Yeah, yeah,
it
I'm
was
not,
it was
yeah, I go
it
into the
was their
store,
obsession.
yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
I mean,
real
that's
quick, Gabriella bringing me right back again. Appreciate Gabriella. She said Tanisha to PFL. Only if they do bantamweight. I don't see her doing featherweight.
lightweight.
Yeah, or
Well,
lightweight.
they do have.
Featherweight or lightweight. Now that they got it, like, I don't think
Too
that's a good
small.
move. Too small.
Yep.
And now look, James, here you go again. I just gotta address this. He said, "Hold on, where you go, James? Hold on." He said, "I love the fact that I'm using the you're not black, so you don't know James." It's true. There's things I don't know. The other race knows, so it's just like accept it, man. Like, you're
James, do
not
we know
here.
your experience? Do we know your experience?
I
Your
don't know
life
your
experience?
experience. I ain't even gonna
Like
lie.
Exactly,
that.
Robert Henry. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna
Exactly,
lie and
man.
say it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie and say
I
I
wish I
do
could
know.
help how people looked at me sometimes. I can't. I don't worry about it. There's nothing I can do about it. But I know that sometimes you got to deal with stuff because that's the way they're perceiving you based on your color alone, or where you're from, and all that stuff.
You know, there is a difference between like playing the race card and then bringing up an issue of race. Because guess what? I think I can speak for both of you guys and most of black folks who care about being seen as equal. Like I hate when people play the race card. I can't stand
Oh
it.
yeah.
I can't stand when people play the race card because it's not applicable all the time. Race is not applicable all the time. But that doesn't mean that every time a black person brings up an issue of race that someone not black doesn't understand, that doesn't mean it's playing the race card. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now look,
It's,
Brian. I got a friend who I'm about to cut him off probably because he's too old. He kind of plays the. He's okay. He's insecure as a dude, right? I understand. We all get insecure about something. I believe, based on my observation, that he plays it a little too much. Like I can't walk nowhere with the guy. He think every situation because he's in his own head. It's not like the other way around where like people are staring at you, which is something that people always do anyway. But it's not like where people are very uncomfortable around you. But he's so uncomfortable about their uncomfortableness. He just makes everybody uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? That's a security problem. But what we're talking about is no, they don't want to deal with you because you're this. There's nothing you can do. Unless they change their mind or you do something special where they feel like, oh, we're going to tolerate. See what I'm saying? We're talking
Hmm.
about tolerance. We're not talking about, oh, we just insecure because, we black and stuff happen to black people. Like, if I wake up like that every day, I don't have a chance.
hmm.
Hmm. James, I'm not even comparing who had it harder at this point. I'm just saying don't ignore one
Oh
struggle for
boy,
the other.
race to the
Like,
bottom.
yeah, we ain't even like comparing struggles. I don't care how many people were killed as far as body count, because nobody really knows the numbers on any of that. Really, my thing is just like if you're gonna acknowledge one, you got to acknowledge the other. I'm not saying
Mhm.
one's worse at this point, because you know that's where I'm at with it.
Man, listen.
Did we exhaust all the topics? I mean, I thought you had something else on there, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
it might be time to move back to the fights or or whatever. Hey, whatever
Okay.
combo wants.
Well, yeah, that's my question too. Like, let's talk about like the fighting of Tanisha Tennant. Like, I'm gonna pick on Robot Chickens because he said it again. He said she's really boring. Like, is she really boring?
Hey,
They said
combo.
it about Valentina.
Hey,
Yeah,
combo.
yeah,
Can you do me a favor, combo?
yeah.
Can you please verbally, personally invite Robot Chicken Wings to take the link? I've been trying to get Robot Chicken Wings to
Okay.
take a link for weeks, man.
Robot Chicken, if you like a link, I can send you one. I'll put it in the chat.
It's in the chat. He talked about taking the link. But go ahead, combo.
What
I'm
about
sorry.
you?
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Yes,
okay.
you
Yeah,
go ahead.
you do that, and I don't know, give you 3 wrenches. I don't know what else got to do. I'll send you. I'll send you a super chat, Robot Chicken. I don't know. How about that? No, seriously, like, how boring do you have to be to not get signed? Like, really? Like, I'm
Carla
just
Spars.
asking.
Let me stop picking on Carla.
I mean,
I
he
mean,
called.
but
Okay,
here's the
let's go to
thing.
Carla. Let's go to Carla.
Even
Good
Carla
example.
proven she can have exciting moments. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Go to Carla. Let's look at Carla. Carla doesn't have she gets booed, man. She gets booed, and she doesn't have a crowd pleasing style, but she's fought her way back up and got a chance. And as much as Dana White probably gets frustrated with it, he's like, I gotta let her do her thing. He still has to let her
Yep.
do her thing. You just can't cut somebody because they're boring. So saying somebody's boring is not a good reason on why they
I
should be
mean,
cut or why they
I
shouldn't be signed.
mean, look at how much he tolerated from Carla. I mean, even as much as he hated to make that fight, as much as he did everything to not promote that fight against Rose, in my opinion, as much as he did everything to promote Whaley and make Carla look bad by uploading that horrible born fight on the
Oh, that was
YouTube
crazy,
page.
wasn't it?
That was
Oh,
insane. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I know
look,
it's a
that was a bot.
championship victory.
And
That was a bot that uploaded that because that.
No,
hey,
that
hold
was
up,
Dana White and McDaniel. I don't care nobody said. They did
Robert.
that on purpose.
Hold on one second. Mark Robinson, my man, he's chiming in with one thing, and this is something I was going to get at too, but he went and hit it on the head. Like he said, black women are the least desirable women on all major dating apps. In this chat, I know we're on the fights, but for the masses, sex sells. It's a major factor in the marketing equation. That's all he's saying too. That's a part of it.
Exactly.
That's a big part right there. That's what he's saying.
Well,
you fit in the white 18 to 35 demographic. You know, you'd sign a Haley Cohen before you would a Tanisha Tent, right?
Well, maybe one day somebody will get some jungle fever, and then I don't know. They don't like them.
Hey, that junk been around. It just ain't out in the open.
Yep. Great point, Mark Robinson. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Okay, prospects to look out for. Top prospects that might enter the UFC next year. Let me see.
Not Tanisha Tennant. Yeah. We hope. Cross your fingers. Cross all your toes too.
I think Tina Black, Valeska Machado. I think she might enter the UFC since she won the belt and make the tournament. I think she's won.
Yeah, I think she might need another fight though.
Yeah, she might get another fight, and they might sign her like late next year or something.
I think she needs to defend that. She needs to make a better showing. Like people have been critical of her, her evasion of the actual fight during her two fights. Go ahead, Gumbo, my bad.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, she needs to put a little bit more funk in the next performance, But yeah, she's one of them. I don't know. There's a lot of girls that just need work though, man, because you got a lot of strawweights now, and some of them just need to really improve. They just really need to improve.
Combate has some good fighters.
Yeah, Combate's got some, but there was a girl, Melissa Martinez, they signed. She was undefeated, but she lost to Elise Reed, so I kind of gauged that one wrong a little bit. She needs some work. But I think Yasmin, she's like got a good thing going with her. Yeah, Yasmin really does. Yeah.
What about my girl Verna?
Hey, Rainey.
Verna who?
Verna Janjarova.
You mean Vina Janjarova?
Oh, she was talking about girls that need to be signed.
Yeah, it's Vina. It's pronounced Vina.
Oh, we talking about girls need to be signed. Oh, I'm sorry. You just said straw weights. This is what happens when I don't eat dinner. I gotta make something after this. My mind ain't working right, bro. I ain't got my brain to
just drink some. Just get some liquor.
No, that was last night. I don't think I'm touching that for a little bit. The dreams was not right. Something was not right. The buzz was right. Yeah, Wmma, I know. I don't know. I don't know what you mean, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Brian. But anyway, prospects. I mean, I don't know. The fighters that I'm looking at and that signed to the UFC, they ain't fighting. So I don't even know if I give a damn about who they gonna sign. I can't even get I wanted to see my girl Happy Feet Hebus fight again. Can't see that because somebody under mysterious circumstances ate 2 double cheeseburgers. I don't know what happened. I don't know, but hopefully she all right. She ate. You said that ain't what she ate.
Oh boy.
Wait. Are we talking about she ate an Ortega taco or something? What's going on? What's going on?
You said
Ortega's always messing up for these women fighters. They get lazy. You see what he did to TJ 347's ex. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I ain't fighting. After the first round, I ain't doing nothing. I'm retired. I just can't say it yet.
Wait a minute. Brian Ortega was messing with Claudia?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they were dating first.
Yeah.
They were dating
Why you
first.
think he fell off? They both fell
Mhm.
off.
That,
Man, I had no idea. So
he was
I'm gonna tell
dating
y'all
her
a true
around Max
story.
Holloway, right? The time he fought Max Holloway.
Max destroyed.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
y'all a true story. I knew, I can't say how I knew the person, but I knew a lady who was friends with Brian Ortega's ex before Cortez,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and she said she pretty much, you know what, let me not speculate on freaking air. Let me not put that out there because it's, you know, she was
DM
saying
me, DM me, DM me.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Yeah, you ain't got to put it out there, man. Yeah, you want to put
It
it
was
out there.
shady.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You got the email. Email. I'll let you know. Okay, Gabriella said thoughts on Danny McCormick. I like Danny. She's an exciting fighter. Lacks defense. She got knocked out in that Bellator fight, and that kind of opened my eyes about how well she could do. Shauna Bannon. I need to see a little more from her. You know, she's brawler, scrappy, good grappler. But yeah, Danny McCormick, man, she's about to fight Fatima Klein originally. And boy, I think Fatima probably would have stopped her. So yeah, I think Danny needs a little bit more work on her defense. Kind of like Molly McCann. You know, she like to scrap. Yeah, she's a scrapper. So I'm not sure. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm not sure the UFC will sign her. They probably will. You know, maybe she put together like a 2 or 3 win streak. So yeah, they probably would sign her because she's exciting. So sign her before Tanisha. Yeah,
Hey, combo,
yeah.
combo. What do you call Angela Hill beating Emily Ducote? Daniel Taylor's revenge.
Oh wow.
Get
Wow.
it? Get it? We all on race tonight. I mean, because she got knocked out real bad. That was. I
Oh
recently
boy.
looked back at that. Boy, that was a terrible knockout. That was a tragic
She
knockout.
was
But
standing. She was
shout
standing
Oh
out.
for
my
like
God.
But that.
she,
Listen,
Well, Daniel
that's one of
Taylor
them.
is yeah.
That's in the top 5, dude, of best knockouts ever.
definitely. Definitely.
I
That
mean, it
is in
was
the
so
top 5.
precise and just it was like some Mortal Kombat type stuff,
It
man. But
was.
It
It
was.
was.
It was.
finish her, smack.
Mm.
Like she just got caught, like all the way in. Like
Oh,
I just,
Mm-hmm.
but Dan Taylor's around the way, girl, ain't she? So yeah, shout out to her. I mean, I can't name a lot of black women in
hey,
mixed
shout out.
martial art. Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
yeah.
out. Hope she all right.
Oh my God.
Oh, the Sink said, "Comma, you heard about Jazzy's next fight? Yeah, Courtney Casey. That's gonna be Courtney Casey's fight to decide if she stays, man. I think.
I'm
Cause
ready for Courtney
Man,
Casey to either go or like do something. Like,
I like
well,
Courtney.
then again, I like
I'm a
Courtney.
Courtney
No,
Casey simp. I don't know what it is.
Courtney Casey will be in there. Courtney Casey can give you trouble if it's still standing. I got to give her props. Now, when it was against Antonina Shevchenko, she's a little gun shy because it was somebody who can strike on a similar level. But I I don't know. That fight was a dud. But let me bring this up. I gotta say this before this
Hold on,
ends.
Sink. You want to talk about it? Hey, the link is in the chat, man. He said he want to talk
I
Jump
about
mean,
on
Jazzy.
them.
Link's
Jump
been
on see.
there. No, listen. Combo been throwing links out all night on y'all like he fishing, and nobody want to bite other than me and Brian. Like that's on y'all, man.
Yeah.
That's on y'all. And matter of fact, Brian, I think they half of them got out of there once we start calling for the links. And no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. But yeah, man. Courtney Casey, she if nothing else, she's tough. Cause
Hmm.
yeah, she tough.
She
Yeah.
is. I'm a
Who
Courtney
won that
Casey
fight? I
simp.
can't remember who won the Courtney Casey and Antonina fight.
I think Antonina
Antonina.
won that.
Yeah.
It was close though. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
real.
Because
It was not. It was a little entertaining. It was all right.
I
I'm
picked
gonna tell
Courtney
you,
Casey to win.
the Courtney Casey loss that shocked me, I mean shocked the freaking britches off me, was to Jillian Robertson. And not that she lost, but that she was losing the stand up.
Oh man, I
That
couldn't believe
killed
it.
me.
I couldn't believe it, man.
That killed me.
I couldn't believe she did that, and then she just got picked apart until Jillian finally got her down and choked her out in the third round. Man,
Yep.
BJ, we're going at it on that because I picked Courtney and he laughed at me about that. So I was like, okay,
I did
Yeah,
too.
that's BJ Johnson. One out
yeah.
of every 100
And that's why I said, hey,
gets it.
wait till Miranda Jillian happens.
No. Hey, Brian, you want to know who I'm a simp for? What's her name? Raging Panda,
Oh
Avila,
Avalon.
yeah, Julia
Julie
Evans.
I don't
Avila.
know what it is. I love her mentality. I love that overhand right. I would just hang at the bar with Julia. They ain't got to be on no boyfriend girl stuff. Boyfriend anyway. Somebody already got a friend anyway. But what I'm saying is, I mess with the Raging Pandas mentality. Like even when she went off on who was that? A Cupcake Tape. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I wish she would have just called her out right then and there, but again, she had other duties going on at the time, so I don't know. But but I'm a simp for her. That's a fighter that I'm definitely in a way just a straight up simp for. But she can fight though too.
You see that fight where she broke her finger?
It was sticking up in
That's
the
the
air,
one
wasn't it?
she
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. Can't
yeah.
remember who it
did she
was.
win that fight
No, they had to stop it because she broke her
or
finger.
they stopped? Okay.
All right, Willetta. She said good night to everybody. All right, Willetta.
All
Um,
right, salute.
Gabrielle said
Nice
thoughts
meeting you,
on
Willetta.
Gabrielle said thoughts on Josiane Nunez and her potential. Look, I like Josiane Nunez. Like I think she can do something big at
Dangerous girl, man.
yeah 135, all because of
Man,
her
that girl
build. Like she
dangerous.
has a unique build, and she
She ain't
got
got no
power.
neck.
Nope.
Right? You know
Nope.
You can't hit her in the jaw
Oh,
because
you can't hit her in the
remember,
jaw.
neck,
You
Mhm.
can't get her in the
neck
jaw.
Exactly. Exactly.
muscular, neck muscular. She ain't gonna. The whiplash don't work. You gonna have to hit her with
Can't
a
catch that
tree.
chin.
hmm
You gotta hit her to the
And
body or something, dude.
her
Yep.
arms are just like long for her height,
Wrong. Yep.
man.
Man, she a
Yep.
problem.
She's like
Even against
Andrade with Nunez qualities too. You know what I mean? Like she's like a
Mm-hmm.
mixture
what
of
is it with
Andrade
these?
and Nunez.
What is with these damn new Neds? Except for Stella. Stella needs some work. Stella
So
needs some help.
Estella's disappointing.
man, well, let me ask y'all this. Okay, Brian, what did you think about Estella at the end of the round, first round with Yasmin when she started smiling and laughing at her?
Beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Because it was the beginning of the end because she did that. Like she knocked her down. And like I'm not taking credit. I'm not trying to discredit the knockdown because she did catch her. But she caught her in the middle of a calf kick. She's throwing a low leg kick. So she was on one foot and got caught.
hmm
And then after that, yeah, Stella Luna had success, but it was really kind of back and forth. The rest of the round was back and forth. So she
Yeah.
hadn't done really anything to be celebrating about after the first round. And I'm telling you, like she did that, and Yasmin saw her face. She saw it. She caught it. And then what did Yasmin do when the bell rang for the second round? She
hmm
went at her. Somebody said uh, Yasmin went upside her head with a skillet. That's exactly what it looked like. She came at her and put on that pace and was blasting her. And what happened? She dropped Stella twice in the round and then finished
hmm
her.
What's that saying, Brian? It's not about who he who laughs first. He who laughs
Yeah,
first is not the one
yeah.
who laughs last. It's not
He
about who
who
laughs
laughs,
first.
Yeah. No,
he
in
who laughs
MMA is
last,
in
laughs
MMA
best.
is he who laughs first gets put in the hearse.
Damn.
That's what that is.
Take them
Hey, y'all,
away.
I gotta read this post by Lolita because it's just funny the number of times she used Asian in this post.
Okay.
I don't even know what she was reacting to, but it says because the Asians that live in Asia enter Asian fight organizations for the Asian martial arts is more honor and here's more profit driven than anything else. I read all those Asians. I was like, good grief.
She went
Hey, as
Mexican
long as
Muay
they're
Thai.
teaching them real martial arts and not that
Yeah.
fake stuff that people be doing.
All right, Gabrielle said, "Do you think 135 will be shut down maybe in a couple years?" No, I don't think so. I don't think they'll ever shut
No.
bantamweight down.
I hope not.
No.
I hope not. Yeah, I don't think it will because you still got a lot of bantamweights out of the UFC they could sign. Yeah, that division ain't going anywhere. I think that's their landmark division. That's that Ronda Rousey.
Historical. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's flagship.
yeah, flagship. Yeah, because that's where we all got into it. Really.
And it still has good
But
fighters in it.
I just
Bantamweight
think
still
that a
has
lot
good
of the
fighters.
Yeah.
I just think, I think a lot of I don't know why it's so messy. Then I don't know if it's because it just didn't develop past a certain point. Like okay, you had the first generation. You had Ronda Rousey. Um, I can't even think of the girl. The one that Rousey beat in the first fight that they had there.
Carmouche.
The one who Carmouche.
Yeah.
You had
Her
all of
brother.
them, and then you had Holly Holm came. Then you had Misha. You already had Misha Tate and Ronda Rousey. You had Holly
Mhm.
Holm. All these other fighters came, and then toward the back end, Pena. And really, the next generation after them, there is. I mean, they are there, but nobody really developed in the top fighters. And I'm not saying that they're bad fighters. It's just that Adana did not really become a star. I mean, a lot of women aren't stars. You know what I'm saying in terms
Right.
of WMMA. But I'm like, they don't. They haven't really been pushed like in the other divisions. There's more examples of newer people coming up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? 145. That's a myth. We don't even know if that really even existed. It would just existed for Cyborg and Nunes to have one fight and Nunes to have two belts, and one of them is decorative because they don't pay you for the extra belt. But you know what I'm saying? I think she probably don't have enough money. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Um, so, Con will tell me if you agree. Um, so I think that the worst thing that happened to the bantamweight division was Amanda beating Cyborg and defending two belts. And I'm not saying like some people like to spin the narrative that Amanda held up the bantamweight division. I don't think she held up the division because at the time that she was fighting at defending the featherweight belt, there weren't clear cut bantamweight contenders. But I think like just the jumping around and the layoffs,
Hmm.
and like what the strawweight division was already doing, and then like trying to build the 125 division. I think all that
Hmm.
has led to just a stagnation of the 135 division because they haven't really been signing new talent to the 135 division. They really haven't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I don't think we can contribute all to her, fighting at featherweight because in the meantime, they could have been, figuring out who would be next for her. But at the time when Nunes went up, that was already a time where a lot of girls were being injured too. Like, you know, Ketlin Vieira was out nearly 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a lot of fighters just aging. Like Holly Holm was just racking up losses. Like every girl she was fighting, she was losing to. And then Irene Aldana, she wasn't really like blowing, blowing up numbers either. Like
No.
getting up the rankings. So you can't really say, oh, it's Nunes' fault. No, the division can thrive until she comes back down. You know what I mean? Like they can do what they want, but like you said, they weren't signing anybody. So they didn't really keep it going. Like they didn't
Hmm.
really have it going like flyweight does now, where you can have girls come in and retire some girls. So they kind of suck. They let the division fall into this little funk. Now it's suffering, man. Now it's suffering. And then you got to
I
remember when
Again.
flyweight opened up, some of the girls started moving down too. Like Caitlin Kagan and Lauren Murphy. They said they gonna leave. Then girls getting old. Then girls being inactive and injured. All of that was just hitting the bantamweight division hard, man. So yeah, you can't just say it was all Nunes. So.
This is my opinion. I agree mostly. I think it had something to do with it, but you can't put 100% of it because the promotion is still a promotion, and it's their job to keep the division entertaining and competitive. Know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But in terms of Nunez having two belts, I've always hated that. Brian probably can attest. On my channel, nobody's been more against double champ status than me. Nobody.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I said even if Valentina goes up to 135 and take the belt from Nunez, as long as I was gonna stay through it. I don't know what I do now, but I know at that time I was staying true to my word. If she's holding both belts, I'll watch the fights. I'll talk about what happened during the fight. But other than that, I'm not covering anything else. I'm not talking about her interviews. I'm just gonna be like the champ, the person who holds the belt. I'm not even gonna say their name. I'm just gonna say the person who holds, and I won't cover both divisions that they're fighting at. When Izzy fought Blahovic, even though at that time I was with Izzy, at the same time, I didn't want to win. I'm like, now you're gonna mess up that division. I'm like, I don't like it, man. I do not like the double champ thing. Not Ronda Rousey. Uh, um, who was it? GSP. Well, it's not quite the same thing, but particularly Conor McGregor and all of them. I hated that. I really hated that. Like if this was boxing, maybe I understand it because you got like too many belts.
Too
You
many
got
belts.
you got look. They literally combo. I'm not lying. They came up with a belt called the Bridger,
I
the
heard about
Bridger weight,
Bridger weight.
Bridger weight
Hmm.
between
Bridgerweight.
heavyweight and like what is it, light
Cruiserweight.
heavyweight or something. I'm like,
Cruiserweight.
stop it,
Stop it. Right.
stop
Yeah.
it. Cruiserweight. Go back to the original 12 plus cruiserweight or whatever they had. Like, just stop it. You sound stupid. You're just trying just all that money you making hand over fist, coming up with what you gonna have next? You gonna have Spectre Gadget's belt or Batman's belt? What? Come out of here, man.
Gabrielle said, "Who will be champion once Val and Nunez retire?" Once Nunez retires, it's really up in the air. I think Pena could get it back. If Val retires, I think either Santos or Manon could get it, and it might play hot potato from there.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I think
I
Santa.
mean, I think it's Santos.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Santos, and the only reason I think Santos over Manon. Yeah, honestly, I think Santos is a better fighter than Manon. But the thing that really sways me is Manon's reaction to her fight against Chukagian. Like if you're that in your head, if you're that in your head, you ain't gonna beat a fighter like Santos. Santos don't give a damn. She don't care. She
That's
going out there to
true.
fight and win. She
Yeah,
does. I mean,
that's
San-
true.
she ain't trying to. She
Well,
don't care how she performs. She's going out there to fight and win.
yeah, because Santos, she kept it moving. Like when she wasn't stopping anybody, she just kept it moving, man. Like
Mhm.
she didn't stop everybody. She just stopped JoJo really, and she just kept it going. Like you gonna lose a round or two. You
You
gonna lose a
are.
round or two. It's about
It's the
winning the
fight
fight.
game.
Mm-hmm.
if Manon can keep it standing, which is not going to be easy, if she can keep it standing for a little while, maybe she can pick at it. But the problem is her volume don't go down because I mean both of them are more like controlled, precise strikers. But I think Santos' power, man,
Yeah.
that they both got power, but Santos, man, when she caught when she caught Calderwood or the former Calderwood, minus the Calderwood, she knocked the Calder right off that night. Like she felt like I couldn't believe, like, oh my, because you see Calderwood take a lot of hard shots. I ain't never see her fall like that. Not even Jennifer Maya put her down like that. Jennifer Maya just was wrecking her, but
Well, you,
man,
you you remember, Robert? I said I didn't. I only cry if my work gets erased.
right.
Well, I didn't cry that night. My heart was about broken though. Whenever she ate that punch though, with Santos Carter,
You
man, I
saw
was
it
like,
coming, didn't
I
No.
you?
saw it coming.
You was about to tear up, and you said, "Listen at the heartbreak. I can't cry. I got, I got to
It's a
look. I can't see it from my eyes, so I got to let JoJo jaw crack. Let that cry. Let that.
yeah.
I don't know. I messed that line
It
up.
was horrible, man. Hey, Steel Wolf said, "I know it's a long shot. I'd love to see Sarah McMahon get a run for a title. What do y'all think about it? Sarah McMahon? Wait, you mean Sarah
She
McMahon?
cut.
Yeah, she got cut.
She didn't get renewed.
She got cut, and she didn't lose a fight. That's the best way to get cut ever.
No,
That's
Because
it's
what
crazy.
did it get
because her
called
momentum was
off?
high. You know, her momentum was high at the time. You said
Yep.
she started coming back. Like she called
Sarah
out
McMahon
Jamie
is
All.
if Sarah McMahon
And
could
that,
ever figure out how to go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was saying that just shows you UFC's level of interest in Sarah McMahon because she did nothing wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
She was looking good. You know, she could have beaten Juliana Pena for real. If you watch that
I
fight, she
agree.
could have beaten. I don't know what she. I don't know if she gassed out or her mentals wasn't there, but she was. You know, she's doing well against
I
Juliana Pena, and then something happened. I don't
what
know.
what Juliana did good, and she did what she had to do to get the win. I can see why she lost that fight. If it's a mental game,
Mm-hmm.
Juliana a dog. She ain't breaking for nobody. Even when she
yeah,
getting her ass whooped by Nunes in the second fight, I'm
yeah.
gonna
That's
keep
good.
coming
That's a good
forward.
point.
You're gonna have to kill me.
Hey, James said Nunes didn't ruin 135, but she put 145 on pause for damn sure. You know, here's how
Never
I feel about
mind.
that comment. Like if there was no Cyborg, there would be no 145. If there was no once Cyborg lost, if there was no Nunes, there would be no 145 because Cyborg was gone. Like after Nunes won, Cyborg didn't get renewed. So who else was there at 145? So if Nunes had decided not to defend 145, then 145 would have been gone a long time ago. So I think Nunes is the only reason that the 145 division even has hung around as long as it has.
Yeah, it was just extended marketing for her and her team. I mean, I hate to say it that way because I was a fan of the division when it first started. You feel me? I was
Me too.
behind, like, yeah, let's get
Yep.
Megan Anderson. Let's get who is it? Get Chase get
Based on.
Chandler over there. Let's get all these people who can fight at 145 there, and they're like,
Mhm.
nope, we don't want. They too big. A woman at 145 pounds in shape is too big for these jocks. So they got to be all tiny and dainty and shit. Don't get me wrong; those women are cute too, but these are fighters, man. We want to see somebody get knocked out every now and then. What's wrong with that? Apparently, everything.
Shoot, I want to see it all the time. Shoot, I mean,
He said, I want to see.
the
He said, I
division
want
was
to see the
great.
jab effect and the overhand right effect.
Yeah, yeah, work up to it. Gabrielle said, question: which fighter would the UFC prefer to be champion at 115, 125, and 135? That's a good question. At
Mm-hmm.
115, I think Whaley.
Of course, it's
Um,
the
Yep.
most money.
yeah, at 125,
They
let's
don't
say
Gotta
have no
think somebody
problem with
real.
Valentina.
They don't, but you know something though. I feel like we're
Macy.
watching it as fans. How incredible Valentina has done on this run. And it
Mhm.
seems like why can't she get the main card? Why can't Valentina get what she want? Like she waited till her sixth defense to make any demands, to suggest any damn thing. I mean, the Nunes got it. I know she had two belts, but at a certain point, I'm like, yeah, but Valentina was kind of the one that everybody was paying it to at that little stretch. I mean, of course, we were still watching Nunes. But I'm like, why the hell aren't they pushing? I have a theory, okay? I think Valentina's mentality just they don't they wish she was around a Rousey. You know what I'm saying? They want something out of Valentina that Valentina ain't gonna give because she's not gonna change herself. She's not gonna pretend. I do
That's
like that
exactly what
she
it is.
but I like that she's being more meaner and showing that villain side. Because to me, she was always a villain anyway. That's the way
She
she
always
was.
a good hill.
Yeah.
Always.
But she's not as aggressive with it as other heels. Like she's not all act out like a Bojangle check. Like Joanna is a heel. That's her job to piss people off. She's standing there real close. You say, "That's my belt there. You know, I'm gonna fuck you up." That's her thing. You know what I'm saying? Valentina don't even got to do that. She's just that thug out. She ain't got to do none of that. You're like,
You know what? You're right. She's a villain. She's a villain. She's not a heel. You're right. She's a villain. She's not a heel. It's the
Yeah.
difference.
I think Mackenzie Dern is kind of a villain too. She just got a smiley face.
I
She be
don't see
trying to
her
break
as a
your
villain.
arm.
Dern is a villain. I don't know.
A little bit, a little bit.
Okay, a little bit.
Sometimes, like when she was getting ready to fight Torres, she kind of finally spoke up, like, "What are you gonna do when I get you done?" I think that there's that
More
darkness
like a
that's
mean
there.
cheerleader thing, though. It wasn't really like a, it's kind of like
Eh,
Yeah.
a mean cheerleader type
Dern,
stuff.
maybe,
But
maybe, maybe it's not that big, but I think
yeah,
she got
Mackenzie's
that
a
edge.
baby face all the way. She's a face all the way. She craves for people to love her.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean, if
true.
I smiled as much as her, I mean, my face would
What,
fall
what I
apart.
mean, what I mean by that, what I meant to say is, she may not be a heel to us, but like a lot of fighters, because she got that baby face that you described by Mark, like she's a character. That's what I like about her.
Mhm.
You know, she's fake. I'm not saying that well, yeah, she kind of did fake the act. I don't like she could easily speak how she was in. She came up in Arizona, but she always wants to, seem more of whatever where she came. Like she's weird. I like it though. I used to make fun of her. Now I
I
just
got
make fun
a.
of her striking.
I'm not going to answer this, but I'm gonna let y'all answer. I don't know if Six is trolling. He said the flyweight division is a soccer mom division.
What the
That's
hell?
crazy. That's
Brian, you
crazy.
want to take that? Because I don't even want to respond to it. I'm about the soccer mom. Who's the soccer mom? You talking about my girl Lauren? Are you trying to be funny? What are you talking about?
You know what? I'll take it because I answered that question on somebody's comments
Okay,
on
yeah, go ahead.
a day or two ago. But like the flyweight division is rounding out, man. It's like it's getting rid of the chaff, right? It's separating the wheat from the chaff. The soccer moms are all but gone in flyweight. Like Lauren Murphy is the last vestige of what you can consider a soccer mom in the flyweight division. And the reason I say that, and I say Lauren Murphy only because of the age factor of how old she actually is right now. Because she's proven that she's still game, right? But she's like the last vestige of the soccer moms. Like,
Yeah, Roxy
and,
gone.
yeah, Roxy gone,
And what's
JoJo
ironic
gone,
is none of them
Jessica
have
I
kids.
gone.
Would you
Go ahead,
say
Combo.
combo?
I said the irony here is none of them have kids, right?
Well, Lauren, I think
No.
does.
Yeah, oh yeah. Lauren does. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lauren does.
Well,
but I
Calderwood
don't.
is getting
And
up
Tyler
there
Francis.
too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Joanne
don't
Wood
consider
is.
Chukagian and Maya. They're veterans. They're getting older. I don't consider them soccer moms because I think personally, I think they're still viable in the division.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the soccer moms are going out of 125. It's all new
I
blood
think.
and viable
Yeah.
veterans.
I
It's
still
very
think Lauren
competitive.
can give them some trouble though.
Six said it ain't competitive. It is competitive, man. Like there's Shevchenko level, then there's the flyweight level. Everybody else is 50-50. Like you don't know who's gonna win a fight with Murphy and Chukagian or Chukagian and Minone. Like all those fights are competitive. Except when you get to the champ, yeah, but like the division is competitive, man. It really is.
What
Viviano
you?
Grasso was a competitive fight, man.
Let me ask you a question, combo.
Yeah.
Now that you've seen Manon beat Chikagian, what does a Chikagian fight with Santos look like?
Oh man.
Oh, good question.
Ooh, that'd be good though. I could see. It looks
That's a
good, man.
dangerous fight for Chikagian, man. I
Dangerous,
mean, that's a dangerous fight. I'm not
dangerous.
saying she can't win it, but man,
There's a possibility she could win a couple rounds in there now. Like Chicago could win some rounds. You just don't know like that. them
Man, she
hands are
catch it to the body, man. It's
deceptive.
over, man.
Them hands are deceptive though. But yeah, like your body, head. I think not Manon, but I think Tyler's just complete right now. Like I would say,
And Tyler got kicks too, man. So
yeah, Tyler's got kicks. Yeah, I think she
She
sits
man,
down on her.
oh my god.
She sits down on her punches more than Manon too. So if Ebos can get in on her, see, now I'm thinking clear, Robert. If Ebos can get in on her, Santos might put her to bed. That's gonna be her last fight, man. That might be
needs to
her
be going to
final
have some
fight.
kids while your body.
Yeah. Oh, Robert, his link went out. Let me see.
Again,
Yeah,
he
it
had to
went out
switch from
again.
his tablet to his iPhone.
Yeah, you're gonna have to switch. Yeah, I think Santos, if she can do what Ebos did and she has the style too, she could get her out of there, man. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I think weight bully doesn't describe Santos, but she is big. She is powerful.
Yeah,
She is
she's
big and
big and powerful.
powerful.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
Let me see. Sink, Manon, Santos, Grasso, Val, Silva, Cachoeira, Kareem. Oh, you naming the good fighters. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Flyweight's a good division, man. It's a good
It
division.
is.
I have no gripes about it right now. I mean,
I
my
think
image.
six. Go
Hello.
ahead.
Or you gonna say six? What?
I think six is. I think six is a little bit casual. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Six been coming by here and hanging out in the WMA universe, but like when he makes comments like that, it sounds casual because, or just I'm not saying like necessarily casual about just WMMA, but just on the whole MMA scene as a whole, because you
Hmm.
know to say that 125, the flyweight division isn't competitive, like maybe he's kind of saying it's not competitive compared to the champion.
Mm, yeah, and you can't hold
But
everybody to that standard.
you can.
If you do
But
that,
the rest of the
you're gonna live a
division,
very disappointing life, man.
yeah.
You're
Like
gonna walk around with a smug look, pissed off, high blood, all of that, because you be like, dang, ain't nobody performing at championship level. I hate them. I hate them.
I
You
mean,
and the
can't
thing
like,
just
is,
think like
and the
that, man.
championship level is relative to the champion, the
It's
sitting
special.
champion, right?
Yeah, it's special.
So 125 and 135 are very similar. Like they have dominant champions that the gap in skill and the whole package is large.
Yeah.
But the rest of the division is very competitive.
Okay, here he says, give me 5 top flyweights you love to watch. Okay. Valentina, Manon, Tyler, Vivian, Grasso. I like to watch the fighters. And I could say Aaron Blanchfield, Casey O'Neill, Andrea Lee, Lauren Murphy. I like watching those fighters. I mean,
but
I'm
but
telling you, exactly.
here's the thing, Brian.
Yeah.
Why do so many people, and BJ got this problem too? He think, no, a lot of people. I'm not putting it just on him, but even as a fight fan, he think because we give certain fighters so much reverence, so much respect for what they're able to do, that we think, oh, they're human and they're never going to fall off or lose a step. They may have already lost a step. It's just that people haven't progressed enough to catch up to them, right?
Yeah.
But my bigger point is that I love a whole bunch of fighters, but I'm never going to say, as somebody who's trying to predict and do, you know, MMA talk, oh yeah, I definitely see her, putting Valentina in a situation like, bruh, that's yet to be seen. And just because they want to fight, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Macy Barber may want to
Yep.
fight Valentina right now. So
mhm.
what? I'm not gonna pick her to win because she hasn't proven herself yet to be remotely on that level. And if you want to argue, well, Taylor didn't do all the things that Valentina, well, a whole bunch of people ain't never done stuff Valentina, but the thing is, you could see the development, you could see the matchup, you could see where it could be a problem.
Mhm.
Hell, I'm still I'm a fan of Hannah Cyphers. I'm not gonna pick her to be the strawweight champion. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
why even
Yeah.
speak about those conversations when we know they have no weight to them? You know what I'm saying?
No
It's okay
relevance.
to still
Yeah.
like somebody. I can
Yep.
still like Hannah Cyphers and watch her lose for the 16th time in a row. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You can
telling
still
you,
be a fan and be somewhat reasonable.
Right. Yeah,
dude.
you got to be
I,
reasonable about it because, like, I truly believe Santos had a chance at beating Valentina. You saw how that played out. I
yep.
truly just looking at the skills. I wasn't just like hung up on her or anything like that. I was actually looking at what she can bring to the table. But when you looking at some of the other girls, like where Casey O'Neill stands now, or Aaron, where they're at, I'm not gonna lie and say they have a chance. They got to do a little bit more. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, the skill set matches the confidence because Casey O'Neill, who I like Casey, I didn't like her at first, but I like Casey and Aaron Blanchfield, right? When the rubber meets the road, they back down. They know they got work to do. But when Taylor was in that interview, she said what she was going to do to Valentina. And then even though she didn't win the fight, she was
She
able
did
to
it.
do it. And she
Hmm.
said it in a way that was way more confident than those other girls. Valentina didn't even believe what she was saying.
Yeah,
Like, what are
Valentina
you
kind of
talking
smiled.
about? I think Valentina made the fight harder on herself because she kept, you like, no, you're not better on the ground than me, or you're not going to come close to stopping me or giving me a hard time. So Valentina just ended up on her damn back the whole fight. Oh, not the whole fight, but for stretches in the fight. And of course, rounds 3 through 5, she kind of started pulling away, and then fifth round. But you know what I'm saying? Like
And
theirs
see,
was
and
this.
see,
Go ahead, you got it. I'm good.
and see, Savage. I don't even think that. Like some people were saying that, oh, Valentina got careless and tried to beat Tyler in the way that Tyler said she wanted to beat her. Right? I don't think it was ego that got Valentina put on her back as often as she did. I think it's that Valentina is just predictable. She does what she does. She does it very well, and most people can't cope. But she does what she does. And it just so happened that Tyler Santos was number one, stronger than Valentina. And number two, Tyler Santos has a strong, solid base anyway.
Oh, and then,
As my
then
wife
before
would
you go any
say,
further, Brian,
empty way.
before you go any further, Brian, did you just call Valentina predictable? You better be prepared. You're gonna get attacked.
I don't care. Because
But
she
you don't know
is.
what? I think Brian. I think he's right to certain degrees.
Oh no, he
There
right.
are
He's right.
elements. There's elements to even a lot of great
Yeah,
fighters got predicted. Like that
Right.
left hand.
he's right.
That what's that flying
Right.
Superman
Well, yeah,
punch?
I was on I was going coach's chat like a couple weeks ago, and the question came up: how do you beat her? Like, how would somebody like Grasso beat her, or Tyler? I was like, well, the left hand she throws is wide open for uppercut. Like, there's certain things that fighters are not watching with her, like she does over and over and over. It's
Over
just
and
that they're
over.
not thinking
She
because they're
time it.
intimidated. They're intimidated. So when they go in there, they let her just settle in, and she don't have to make adjustments. That's the thing. Like, Valentina don't
Mhm.
have to make adjustments all the time because what she's doing over and over and over again, they're not capitalizing on. They're not even figuring it out.
Yep.
They
Like
don't
Norm
see
Murphy,
it.
they don't
They
figure it out.
either, like you said, intimidated or they just don't have the skills to capitalize.
Right, right. Like the
I
striking,
agree.
like the uppercuts there, but how many of these girls know how to throw one with with
Yep.
with enough pop, right? So
I'll
And
be
timing.
honest, combo. When it comes to striking, I think that's in WMMA, but MMA in general, the uppercut is a very it's just not utilized enough in situations. Like I can think of a few championship, not even championship fights, but like I know Conor McGregor used it a few times against Nate Diaz. You have a couple of other fighters that may use it every now and then, but I'm like, when I think of certain fighters, I can just think of off the ones who are open. As good as Rose is with all that movement, Jessica Andrade started throwing uppercuts. All that changed that second fight. That's why some
Mm-hmm.
people thought that Jessica might. I don't, but some people thought Jessica might have pulled it out because she was catching the hell out of Rose.
Oh yeah.
She was opening Rose up, and Rose she don't defend that uppercut. She
Mm-hmm.
don't defend it, and
And you
like
know
you say
why?
with
Because
Valentina, she open.
like I said, some of these she's not expecting it. You
Yep.
know, and that's what you got to catch Val with. You got to give her the unexpected. I think Valentina, she's humble enough to always train, but she knows deep down what these girls aren't going to do. She knows what they aren't going to do, and that's why Tyler Santos surprised her because she did what they didn't do, and that's what almost got her, you know, on the losing end of the fight. I mean, we gotta be real. She almost won it.
Yep.
Gabrielle said, does labeling the flyweight division as a soccer mom division kind of tarnish Val's legacy? Yes,
No,
kind of
I mean,
does. Because
oh no,
you
actually, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's
yeah,
not right.
you kind of
That's crap.
putting down the fighters in that division, so it's telling you that okay, there's a big skill gap between what she's fighting and what Whaley is up against, and even Amanda Nunes.
Wait, who called it? Who called it soccer division again?
Um, I think Marcus says six
6.
McNuggets. No, six McLovin. Okay, yeah, six McLovin. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus called him 6 with
Mc-
nuggets.
Okay.
Yeah,
He called him a
go
happy
to bed.
man.
That needs to go to bed. Go to bed with that argument. It's a good
Yeah,
division. It's just that
it
you got
is.
somebody at the top of the division that's an all-time great. That's all it is. It happens. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Until somebody like Combo say, figure it out and do something about it. You know.
Here, it's a double-edged sword for the Valentina, right? So on
Yeah,
the
it
one
is.
hand, when the division was first organized and Valentina came to let's just talk about when Valentina came to the division. When she came to the division, it was a fledgling division. It was full of girls who had come down from bantamweight or were new to UFC in general, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so it wasn't a lot of high level competition there. And so
Right.
at the end of the day, when Valentina won the championship, her best win was Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
Her best win was Joanna. Then you could consider, based on the skill gap, you can consider Valentina being a can crusher for 4 fights. And then she had a fight with Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's a double-edged sword because
I wouldn't call it can crusher. I just
Valentina
call
is
it
so great. Now
again.
the newer fighters, the younger fighters are coming up hungry and making the flyweight division better. Like they're trying to reach her level, right? So she's elevating the level of the division. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a double-edged sword, man.
Right. Right. And also
She
you gotta
can't win
look
or
at
lose.
the fact, even though the competition might not be still, Valentina is still training to such a high level that, most of these girls can't even touch it. So like she's always going to just be in her own lane, regardless of what you think the division looks like. Too like the hard work's going to be put in, but like Ryan said, in the beginning of the division, it was still being put together. So when you put those two things together, it's going to be like, okay, it's like Larry Holmes when he was heavyweight champion. He defended his belt like I can't remember how many times, over like 20 something times. He was a
Mm-hmm.
good fighter, but the time they always say that was the time when there wasn't the best competition.
No, he was born Combo. That's what it was. He didn't get a lot of stoppages. He's born. Just like Valentina, born. Don't get enough
Oh,
stoppages.
that's what it is. Okay.
Nobody know how great Larry Holmes was because it wasn't because he didn't have nothing to do with it. It was just the competition. But when you come after Ali, that's what they're gonna say because you don't have that whatever it is. Even though he trained with Dundee and all that, but it is
Mhm.
what it is.
Right.
Everybody can't be razzle dazzle all the time. He did get a bunch of TKO stoppages though, didn't he? Like
Oh
people
yeah.
stopping him up against the rope.
He
Yep.
beat that guy
I mean,
Jerry
he was a
Coleman.
bad man.
Yeah. I appreciate him. I say that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It was a good show, y'all. I'm thinking about to wrap this thing up because, like you,
We ain't
Robert,
going for the
earlier,
record tonight. I'm trying to break the
man.
record. All of
Look,
hold on, let me say this real quick before you wrap it up, Combo. Brian, it'd be like
yeah,
a live stream will start, and then I don't catch it till later, and it went like 4 or 5 hours. Like, man, I gotta listen back to it and see what was saying. I wish I was there.
Right.
But okay,
I'm
we
the
ain't gonna
same
break
way.
the 5 hour mark tonight. No 5 hours tonight. Sorry, TJ, if you're still on, you're still in the comment section. No 5 hours tonight. No 5 hour
I tell
live
you
I was
what,
stream.
about to,
when we get to 3,000, I'll do a 5 hour one.
there you go. How long we been
Okay,
on?
Three,
about
3:30,
3 hours.
3 hours and a half.
Oh man, as TJ would say,
I,
in hour 4, Combo discusses the.
I tell you what, no, I tell you what. If you get 3,000, I promise for everybody who miss it, because Combo a busy man, but I'm a little more busy these days. But I'm going to try to take the time out. I will make timestamps for a 5 hour live, so we can talk about everything up until your boy BJ came and just ruined the whole stream. We'll just so you can skip over
Oh,
wherever you don't want to listen to when we finally chase him and Zaman out of there, All right, but anyway, go
all right,
ahead,
real
Combo.
quick. Mark Robinson, he coming back with something. He keep me on a little bit longer. He said, "Does anyone actually know how hard Valentina gets hit when she spars? Because I'm starting to worry Valentina might not even remember what getting hit really feels like."
That's a bar, Mark. She barely get touched. You know what? I gotta say this point, and shout out to the he said this a long time ago, like over a year ago, and he wasn't saying it to be funny. He said when you see fighters getting punched and marked up, whatever, right? The lighter your skin is, the more pronounced, usually, unless it's like just a real bad gash or blow or whatever, cut. It's
Oh yeah.
easier to see, right?
Yeah.
Valentina come out of fighting killers like Nunes. She came out of fight hot. I think she had one little cut in those two fights against Nunes. She looked like she just woke up. Like no, she just came out the bathroom to freshen up, Brian. Like she's pale as this wall I'm staring at, and she ain't got no damage at all. Like it's amazing. Like
Oh yeah.
defensively, in my opinion, she's the most defensively responsible WMMA fighter by a lot. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she goes like and just barely get touched. I mean, she did get caught by Nunes pretty good in that first fight. She got caught a little bit in the second one, but it's so minute you barely even notice she got touched.
Mm-hmm. And like he said too, yeah, she got the skin to prove it, boy. Pale.
She got the skin.
Hey, you see these other girls like Jillian or Montana?
They all bloodied up. Their hair all torn out. Everything. It'll win.
Yeah. Like, how did she look when she came out of Tyler Santos fight? I gotta go back and look at it.
She might have had a mark in that, but not much.
Maybe
very
just
little,
like
in her.
Just like some the grappling. But yeah, she came out clean in that one. Oh, appreciate that, Brian Williams with the 20 spot. I appreciate that, man. He's trying to buy another couple hours, but nah, man, we ain't doing it.
I'm sorry. Look.
I haven't figured out how to attach a comment to the damn super chat, but anyway, I put my comment after the super chat.
Okay, he said salute to Combo Breaker 99 for giving us a platform to discuss something we all love with like-minded people. Hey, man, that's why we do this, man. Just get on here. I mean, we ain't like we talk about fighters we like, but we ain't simping over one fighter and dissing all the others. We just talking about the sport,
we talking about it in a very realistic,
yeah,
honest, but fun way because you can't be fans and be serious all the time.
No,
I wouldn't want to do that. Listen to my channel. I can't be serious all the time. I gotta trip on stuff too a little bit, but some stuff
I love your channel, man.
yeah. Yeah, Savage
Yeah,
WBA
man.
channel, man.
I'm trying to do more lives. I'm trying to start doing live. Maybe next year I'll start doing them. Get used to them. I don't know if I can do a combo. Combo be having like 7, 8 people on the same time. He'd be uploading. He'd be in the middle of uploading something, and he still got like a chat going on. Then he's dealing with the people in the chat. Like, look, man, I might just say hi to you people for 45 minutes, talk my shit, and roll out. I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm trying
Crawl
to get
before
into
you
the
walk,
whole.
bro.
Yeah.
Crawl
That's
That's
how
before
the
I
you walk.
did with
yeah,
the.
hey, yeah, he said crawl before you walk. That's that Chikagan cardio right there, you know.
Right. So, but
Wait, 6. I don't think there is. He said, who's the Clarissa Shields equivalent to WMMA? I mean, you can't really compare.
No.
who was it?
He said, who is
Who?
equivalent to Clarissa Shields in WMMA? There really isn't anybody.
That's a hard
No.
comparison because she's so strongly on the boxing side that even the boxers, the quote unquote boxers of WMMA, they don't really fight like her.
Hmm.
And then, first of all, they kind of can't. But I don't know. I can't. That's a good question. I don't have an answer to it.
Yeah, I have to think
No,
about that one.
I don't think there is an equivalent because I think
Mm-mm.
Clarissa Shields, like in boxing,
Hmm.
the woke, I think is pretty. I think that's pretty solid, pretty firm, right? Not a lot
Hmm.
of argument about that. Whereas in
I don't know.
MMA, you got. I mean, there's an argument for Nunes, Cyborg, and Shevchenko. There's an argument for it. So I don't know if
Yeah,
there's
but
an equivalent.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
He said
I
not
think the biggest.
style, just based on dominance. Well, nobody, because everybody in MMA has at least lost once. You know, Shields hasn't
Mm-hmm.
experienced that yet. So like her level and her aura is totally different. Like I can't even say like Nunes would be like her because Nunes experienced the loss. Like the way she's come back as a fighter.
But you want to know something? I want to say this real quick. I
Yeah.
think the not having the loss in boxing, like, okay, Khabib didn't lose a fight, even though he didn't have that many title defenses or however you want to measure him. I mean, I know he an influential, great, but I don't think losses are that big a deal in MMA. I think it's too sophisticated a sport to stay. It's too complicated and it's ever evolving. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Boxing is a little bit more. I mean, I'm not saying it can't evolve at all, but it's most. We may have seen most of what we're going to see with it. I think MMA is still evolving, and I think the problem is, as much as I love Mayweather as a fighter, I think all that undefeated stuff in boxing has ruined it. Because don't nobody want to fight, and it's too many paying. They're getting so much money
Yeah, that's
to
true.
just fight. They don't even necessarily got to be on TV or pay per view. The contracts are just so much better. The discrepancy. Like if it was about money, even if I had better skills in MMA, I would go into boxing.
Hmm.
It's more money. It's just more money. I mean, if you're about the money, that's all you care about. Then I would just go into boxing because something about that having that zero on your record. Fighters who may eventually that people have been waiting to see fight, it's gonna be the same thing like with Mayweather and Pacquiao. They're gonna be well out of their prime. They're gonna be rich, but they're gonna be well out of their prime by the time they fight the way we're going
Hmm.
boxing. So it's in mixed martial arts. I think if you got 7 to 8 losses in MMA, it should not hold the same weight as it does in boxing. I think
No,
MMA is more complicated. You can
It
lose, but
is.
I don't
we don't
disagree.
even talk about the judging.
I have to
Yeah.
agree with you. What you
Yeah, I
said.
don't. Yeah, I really don't think it does because like MMA, you got guys coming back with 13 losses. Knocking out the guy who has like an undefeated
None.
record. Yeah, yeah, none. Right. Yeah, but yeah. Before I shut this thing down, man, closing thoughts, Brian, before we roll out.
My closing thoughts is again, glad to be on with you guys. It's always a
Always,
good time.
for sure.
I will say this on I gotta say this to James Perez. I hope James is listening to me very carefully because words matter. James earlier in the chat was so frustrated with High Five for being so delusional and one-sided. James, that's how everybody else feels about you when you be on that doggone Valentina kick. You have complete. James has absolutely no ability to be objective about Valentina, and unfortunately, it hurts his credibility. Anyway, but that's all I have to say about that. Again, Combo, man, appreciate you for providing this platform for so many of us to, come on here and just kick it about something that we all love, the sport of WMMA.
Oh yeah, man, for
So
sure.
we
Thank
appreciate
you
you,
for
man.
coming through. Thank y'all for coming through. But we're gonna have an interesting show tomorrow.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I ain't gonna mention it today, but it's gonna be interesting.
I will be there.
Oh yeah, please do. Yeah. Okay, man. What about you, Rob? Here, what you got, man?
Look, all I got is more time to wait for fights. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about Friday. I wanted to post something. We'll see. I might go live.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think it's just better to go live right now because I'm telling you, I want to hear feedback. I want to hear. I think I might post something in the community section about matchups. I might do a video on that or something like matchups that I want to see. Fantasy matchups. It don't even matter what the rankings and none of that is. I'm not good with that stuff anyway for the most part. I factor in about 2% ranking, and the rest is whoever wants to work, right? So maybe I'll do something on that. But anybody that's interested, just go to Savage WMMA Fan, the realest and the rawest WMMA analysis on the planet. That is me, Savage.
Definitely.
That's all I got.
All right.
Savage out.
Appreciate you,
Savage,
man.
you go live, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there. We got
Okay, hopefully my mic
a little bit.
works. My mic works. I did 20 minutes today and nobody heard it. So I saw 3 people in the chat. Like, why they keep leaving and coming back? Because they couldn't hear nothing.
I missed
Please
something.
don't leave or left a comment.
James said I was doing a sneak diss. I missed it. I missed that, James. I mean, I missed the sneak diss. I mean, did I throw a sneak diss? I mean, wow, he knows what I'm thinking before I know.
Anybody who doesn't who doesn't mentally kiss Valentina's feet 7 times a day they dissing James.
Oh,
They
okay.
dissing. You got to pray to Valentina Shevchenko 7 times a day. I don't know what's going on with James, but it's all good.
Facing the east.
I thought I loved me some Valentina. Valentina is my logo on my channel right now, and I still don't think I love Valentina more than James does. No way, not even close.
No way.
No, you don't. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Nope, not even her mama.
All right, y'all, later. But yeah, definitely tune in tomorrow. And y'all might want to take a link tomorrow because it's going to be an interesting topic, I think. Yeah.
So appreciate it, man. I'll be there.
All right, bro. Be easy.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. Gonna shut this thing down. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Good conversation. 340. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm done. Still got 20 y'all in here too. I'm done. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Catch y'all on tomorrow's show. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace. I got